Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Knights of the Dawn podcast, where we talk about everything Bren and Mole. My name is Megan.
And I'm Jessica.
And today we are covering chapters 23 through 26 of Book 5 of Fablehaven, Keys to the Demon Prison. We are almost at the end.
Which is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, we're getting to the climax, and it's getting really exciting.
Only 30 episodes later.
Yeah. Thank you for bearing with us, guys. We appreciate it. Anyway, we're going to jump right into it. It's chapter 23, Vasilis. Back to Seth.
Yes, we are. And so we join the crew with our absolute sleep-deprived adult, Vanessa.
Oh my gosh. Poor Vanessa.
Because, I mean, if we just do a quick recap, they started out in Massachusetts, correct me if I'm wrong, or Pennsylvania. Where is Fablehaven? I always forget.
Connecticut?
It's one of the two. They start out in New England.
Yeah.
In the United States, drive all the way down to Missouri to meet up with the Singing Sisters, and now they are in British Columbia in Canada to talk to the Totem Mall.
And isn't it like northwest Canada?
Yeah, they're in British Columbia. That is just like north of Seattle, basically.
Yeah. That's crazy. They covered the entire span of the United States and into Canada.
Seriously, this is absolutely... And now, by the end of this section, granted they will have flown, but Seth and Vanessa will have flown, but Newell and Doran and Hugo will have then driven all the way back to North Carolina.
Yeah, we'll get to that. That'll be fun.
I need to, do a quick little, I need to draw a map and a timeline. I need a map and a calendar to figure out if this is actually, physically possible for a vehicle to drive that much mileage in such a little amount of time.
Yeah.
But that's for a later date.
That's for later this episode. So, they're just stopping to check the maps and make sure they're on the right track. And, of course, when you're at the Satyrs, you have to stop for food. So, they're stopping for lunch before Seth goes on his side quest to get a sword.
They know that the sword Vasilis is behind the Totem Mall. And they've got a map to go directly there, courtesy of the Singing Sisters. The only thing is that it is a bit of a hike. And so they took the pit stop, had some pretzels, a couple of quips were exchanged about Seth's fake name and identity, but they finally make it to a point where Hugo can no longer progress, and so Seth proceeds alone. Am I missing anything that you would like to cover?
I just thought how it was funny. They were like, we brought you your stuff while we walked over the border because you couldn't go over the border with a couple of goats and a pile of dirt. So
that was funny. So they sent all the weapons and the contraband with the mythical creatures so that they could escape suspicion, which it was funny.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
And of course, while they're taking their little break and Vanessa's just checking out for a minute and disassociating, which is, again, valid. The woman has had zero sleep.
Seriously.
But basically, the satyrs start fencing with their walking sticks, and just a funny quick quote. Time to move. Vanessa calls out, time to move on. Doran complains because Newell's stick had broken, and he had just been absolutely demolishing Newell with his own stick. And so Newell pointed at Doran, I'll remember this. And then Doran responds, you'd do better to forget it. It looked humiliating. I just find that funny. Newell and Doran get a lot of good quips in this section, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they do.
Very needed, because the atmosphere is bleak, but
yeah,
they're good ones. So yeah.
Speaking of the bleakness, it's bleak because Mark, the last Eternal, died. And
oh, yes.
Right here, Seth does reach out to Bracken via the coin, and he learns that they lost another Eternal, and that Bracken and Kendra and Raxus and everyone is on their way to Texas to try and save the last Eternal.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, and Vanessa is warning Seth against being too specific about what their goal is, even when just talking to Bracken. Because if they're correct in their guesswork, Nagi Luna is not going to be focusing on Seth's side quest, because compared to the finding and destroying the last Eternal, he is insignificant. And so they can probably talk freely, but Bracken and Kendra and their group, who are directly involved in trying to find the last Eternal, and may or may not have given away her location, which still bugs me from the last episode that we talked about. Right after the confrontation, they're just saying it out loud, and I'm just like, just don't, please. Anyways, so they're being, like, Kendra and Bracken, they have no idea what Seth's up to. They don't know he's trying to find a legendary sword, because he's just keeping it vague and being, what's the word? I guess being vague. Is there another word for vague?
Vague. Innocuous.
Innocuous. Evasive.
Evasive.
About what his,
all they know is that he's on a quest that was suggested to him by Patton.
And
that's,
also,
like, all they know.
Yeah. And also, like, they may not know that he already has the items, but finding them away to Zizix was his other objective.
Yes, that's true.
Seth, again, proceeds to, like I said earlier, he proceeds alone to the totem wall because they recommended that he proceed alone. He's the only one who has a petition. More people might just muddy the waters. So
also, Newell and Doran don't want to go with him. Like,
no, they don't.
Vanessa needs some sleep, so...
There's also a funny moment where as Seth starts walking away by himself, he looks back and catches everybody watching him somberly. They immediately, like, cheer up and be like, yeah, you got it, thumbs up, you got this. But he's just like...
Why did I look back?
Like, wow, wait, tell me how you really feel, guys.
Yeah. He's like, man, I wish I had looked back behind me.
Exactly. Well, yeah. But at least they get to trek through nice, pretty British Columbia now. So.
Yeah. He says it's beautiful, which, yeah, it is. I've been to Vancouver. It's pretty nice.
I haven't.
You've never been to Canada.
No, I have not.
I've been twice, very briefly, though, so.
I've been to Mexico.
I'd love to go more.
Sounds so pretty. Except cold. I'd have to go in the summer. Yeah. I would have no shot there in the winter.
And they talk about that because Newell and Doran are like, why don't more people live here? And Vanessa's like, well, very harsh winters. Because they're fairly far north, so makes sense.
Alright, so yeah. So Seth gets closer and he finds a totem pole, just a singular one, that's kind of sticking out from the landscape. And totem poles, I mean, are a very common part of the indigenous culture of the Northwest North America, of British Columbia and all that, in that area, Oregon territory. That was...
Is that where... Yeah, I wasn't sure where totem poles were, like, common.
It was... who was it? There's
if you know the name of the tribe.
It's not... I know this. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I guess
history teacher over here failing.
Teaching it. Except, well, the ones you were teaching.
I wasn't teaching specifically, but I went over this in like my years of teaching. Because it's...
We'll give your brain a second, and then we'll Google it.
I'm Googling already,
okay,
so we'll see if I have time.
Run it out. Google it out. Okay, well, I just Googled native tribes that use totem poles.
What'd you get?
Pacific Northwest, including... Oh, I apologize in advance. I am not going to say any of these correctly. Please give me grace. Haida, Tlingit. I'm sorry. Shimshian. Nutchalk? Nuchalk? It's Nuxalk.
That's a rough one.
Belacula. I'm so sorry. Coast Salish people. I'm also just looking at the AI overview, which I'm disappointed in myself for using AI, but I apologize for our ignorance.
Yes, we are trying, but I know we are failing. We're probably thinking a little bit farther south then.
But I didn't know that, like, obviously, like, totem poles are kind of like, what's the word? Stereotypically, yes. Like, Native American, and people never really, like, specify what, so... Yeah. I like that he's using it in the right area of the world. Yeah. He's really good at that, I feel
This is very true. Yeah,
Brandon Moore does his research, as we've said.
I totally agree.
Very appropriate.
I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce this one tribe. I saw the pronunciation at one point. Now it's gone. I think it was like the Tlingit. I think it was Tlingit. Yes, Tlingit. Tlingit.
I'm not going to try and pronounce
It's spelled Tlingit, and it's pronounced
Tlingit. Say that again?
Tlingit, so it looks like Tlingit.
Yeah, I tried to read that like 5 minutes ago.
According to this website, it's pronounced Tlingit.
Okay.
And Haida. The Tlingit and the Haida both showed off status using totem poles. So,
Okay.
fun facts.
I said both of those tribes earlier.
Yes, you did.
So.
You did.
Okay.
I was just saying these are the ones I've also confirmed have found now.
Okay.
Because I went into a website.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Pacific Northwest-ish area, of course.
If anybody's from
Canada.
those areas, especially indigenous roots, we are so sorry. And also, if you wish to educate us, we are open to hearing.
Yes, always.
Please don't hate us.
Very cool. Yeah, we're trying. Anyway, the totem wall, because it's a wall, not technically a pole, but it's filled with every variety of, like, animal and facial expression. Like, the description that Seth says, like, hundreds of faces made up the seamless wooden monument, weather-worn, time-worn, but well-crafted, each face still very recognizable. A wide variety of animals represented: bears, wolves, deer, moose, elk, lynxes, beavers, otters, seals, walruses, eagles, owls, and many others. People were depicted in even greater diversity: male and female, old and young, fat and thin, fair and hideous. Some looked friendly, others furious, others wise, others ridiculous, others crafty, others ill, others smug, others frightened, others serene. Seth had never seen anything like it. He could imagine the totem wall as a featured exhibit in the world's finest museum. It was that impressive, that detailed, that unique.
And also, side note, I appreciate that all of the animals that are listed are all native to that region as well.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Like, you don't hear anything about, like, tigers or lions.
Yeah.
It's all indigenous, native creatures.
I like that.
So, yeah.
And then there's a stump, which he figures he's supposed to climb up onto as, like
a stage?
Like...
A podium?
Like an audience stand or so. Like, if you're on an audience with the totem wall, you have to stand here.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, that works. So Seth climbs onto this stump, which is at least, he says, 8 paces across. That's a big tree.
That's big.
There's
there's a picture in the book of, like, the totem wall, which
is stunning.
Shout out to Brandon Dorman. Like, this photo is so cool to see, like, the intricacy of, like, all of the faces, like, together. It really helps me picture it so much better.
Yeah, I remember as a kid trying to find, like, the different faces of the 4 guardians that he calls out. You know what?
And the tree is huge that he's standing on, like the stump.
I do think I'd see a lion in there, which makes me a little unhappy.
Well, he said he just named some of them. He said there were a lot of other animals.
Yeah, I guess. I just feel like it doesn't make sense to have a lion on there. But you know what? I digress.
Alright, well, you can represent animals from different places.
Yeah, I know. Anyways.
There's a rhino right at the front.
Oh, yeah, that is there. Huh. Alright, Brandon Dorman, I'll trust you as having a more direct line to the intentions of the author. Alright, so Seth as he steps into the center of the concentric rings, by which he gauges that the tree that when it was cut down was probably at least 1,000 years old, which, cool. The entire wall comes to life. So there's immediately a cacophony of muttering, grunting, barking, a bunch of miscellaneous animal noises.
Yeah.
And all of the faces start moving, tongues are wagging, jumbled words are coming out, all of that, and Seth is just like, okay, hello.
Just like, oh, walking onto the stump, turn them on, basically.
He stepped on the on button.
Yeah. Basically, the totem wall, well, first of all, Seth's like, do you speak English? And, like, the main head says, you will hear your language, like, choose.
Thank you,
like,
magic.
Choose who to treat with, basically. And so he starts saying the names that the singing sisters told him. He says, I will speak to Anu the hunter, Tortiga the crone, Eularia the dancer, and Chu the beaver. And the totem wall is very surprised that he said these names.
Yeah, I bet they're used to people just being like, I want to I want to speak to the deer because he looks cool. The rhino because he's in my face. You and you.
Yeah.
So to have him not only point out but also name each of the who we now know are the guardians of the, I believe they call it the Alder Door or Vasilis.
Yeah.
Was a very large surprise, just like the Seeing Sisters predicted it would be. Mm-hmm. So, shout out to the 3 old ladies.
Yeah. And all of the heads acknowledge him, saying, I hear you. Like, I guess that's their...
Yeah.
I don't know what they have to say or something.
Their ritual.
So, yeah, he says, I seek Vasilis, the sword of light and darkness. I know you guard it. I want to enter and retrieve it. So he's just, like, blowing their minds right now. Like,
he's like, let's do it.
First of all, he knows the right guardians to say. Second of all, he's like, I'm here to take Vasilis.
And the fact that he not only is he's not asking for the location of Vasilis, he's like, I know it's here.
Because they say that other people have come to them seeking the location of Vasilis without knowing that they have it.
It makes me wonder, like, what a different bargain with the totem wall would look like. You know?
Yeah.
Like, what other prices are paid for an audience with
How
such
severe is it?
Yeah. Is it similar to the Singing Sisters? Is it looked on more or less favorably, maybe? I wouldn't mind seeing that.
If you don't come to an agreement, do you live?
Yeah, like, that would be nice to know.
As opposed to the Singing Sisters?
Maybe the totem that Seth passed on the way back, on the way towards the totem wall comes to life. Maybe the totem wall itself comes to life and attacks you.
He gets struck down by lightning. I don't know.
I mean, this I do know. A big part of Northwest, like, totem poles often had Thunderbirds on top of them, for example. So they like Thunderbirds. So a strike of lightning would actually probably not be
too far off.
If I had to guess. So yeah, one of the things, the hunter on you says, you should understand that we grant favors only upon receiving an acceptable sacrifice. They look at him initially and they're like, yeah, you don't got nothing that we want. Like, the sword and the shield are okay, as they are, like, tipped with, like, the most valuable substances in the world, you know. They're like, mediocre. But they're like, it's not enough. And so Seth then plays the card that the Singing Sisters have given him, saying, I will purge the evil within you. And they're like, okay, this guy's certainly got coaching.
And I like how they're like, he speaks with confidence, but we want to know, like, what you have done in your life. And so they ask, what deeds have you accomplished? And Seth is like, okay, so I gotta bring up a resume now. Let me kind of think what I've done.
Let's do a quick highlight reel.
And honestly, like, he thinks of some good ones. He says, I pulled a dark talisman from the neck of a Revenant. Thank you.
You switched the N and the V.
Yes. I pulled a dark talisman from the neck of a Revenant. I caught a leprechaun. I awoke Olok the Glutton and put him back to sleep.
I'm not gonna lie. That one he makes sound a lot more epic than it actually was.
They know who Olok the Glutton is. They know he had to have eaten him or something, basically. So basically, he got eaten by a demon and lived to tell the tale.
Yeah.
Thank you, Coulter. I found the chronometer, one of the keys to Zizix. I stole the horn of a unicorn from the centaurs at Grunhold. I have bargained with the giant Thronus and left him satisfied. I killed the dragon Soletta in order to retrieve an item from the dragons of Wormroost. I survived the Dreamstone at Obsidian Waste and helped retrieve the translocator, another key to Zizix, and I have bargained with the Singing Sisters.
So Tutega the crone verifies his words. They mention that she can always see the truth. She knows truth. And so they're like, okay, so this kid's got a pedigree. He's got a reputation. I'll go with reputation. Big reputation. And so they seem to, the 4 guardians of the Alder Door, I believe, yes. They said, the youth has named the 4 who control the Alder Door. This seems a good omen. And so all 4 of the guardians seem to be in agreement to let him in.
Yeah.
And they put it back to Katatuyok, who's the big.
That has native, like if that name is.
It feels
more native.
I'm gonna Google it real quick.
It's very interesting.
First thing that comes up, Katatuyok, Mulverse Wiki.
It's a very fun word to say.
Katatuyok. The word itself at least feels like it would. It feels.
Yeah. Which I like. I like that it feels like it would be
British Columbian Native American name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree on that one. So Katatuyok was the initial face that spoke to Seth. He seems to be kind of like the head.
The head. I got you with that one. I meant to say that one. You might not think that was one of my better ones, but I think that was pretty good.
I think it was great. You can't hear it, but I'm like, my shoulders are like shaking.
I've rendered her speechless for a second. I thought you were going to make that joke.
Okay, that was good. I'm tearing up a little bit. That was good. You got me.
Yes, I got you.
You got me good. All right. The head starts talking. Katuyok. They demand that they leave behind his sword and shield as kind of tokens in case he fails, as kind of like an insurance policy. As well as the items from his bag, the tower and the fish, from Thronus.
Yes.
They basically, even though Seth is like, well, won't I need my sword to fight or anything? And they just like, yeah, it's not going to help you in there.
Basically, they're like, leave your stuff. You won't need it where you're going. And just enter in. And Seth's like, but I can have my stuff back when I come back. And they're like, if you live, yeah. You can take your stuff back when you leave.
I appreciate that Seth is covering all his bases here.
True. After the Singing Sisters, he knows.
After the past 4 years, honestly.
Yeah, literally.
He's learned his lesson.
He is implementing what he's learned.
Indeed. Good job. He learned. The final deal is purge the evil lurking beyond the outer door, and you may depart in peace with Vasilis and the rest of your items. They all concur.
Everyone agrees. Mm-hmm. Seth puts down his stuff on the stump, and the door opens, and he enters. He had a flashlight, but he puts it in his pocket, and he picks up the torch.
Seems more fitting for the situation.
Yeah. It definitely is. It's kind of nice to have fire instead of just an electric light.
Especially when you're going up against something that's called the Standing Dead.
Yes, the Standing Dead.
Once actually Seth gets into the corridor with the Standing Dead, it's like gotten really cold, but he thinks maybe the torch was a good idea. Like he feels like he could probably like ignite all of these at once. Mm-hmm. But before he can, he starts getting a little nervous.
Yeah, because he's immune to magical fear, but this is just regular fear that anyone can feel, that he has to, basically, if he feels fear, the Standing Dead will sense it and attack him. So he has to go in fearless.
Seth does notice that he senses, like, the frigid air and, like, the vague feeling of that there is magical fear present, which I find interesting.
Yeah.
I kind of think it'd be even more intriguing if they didn't produce their own, like, fear.
Magical fear?
Like, the supernatural fear. I kind of wish they didn't, if only so that, like, it would just be them. Like, you can't be afraid of them. It's not like that they will make you afraid. It's just that their presence can make you afraid, and that's what you have to resist.
I mean, if it was a bunch of, like, corpses standing and looking at me, I would be pretty creeped out, so it would be hard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They don't need to have a supernatural fear
they're
they don't need
enough.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so...
It says, row after row of standing corpses filled the expansive room. So there's, like, a lot of them.
And more than that, the ceiling of the room itself is only, like, a little bit above Seth's head. So it's probably only, 5.5 feet? How tall do you think Seth is?
Let's see, he's like 13.
Like, it says that his head, the top of his head almost reached the ceiling.
Probably like 5'6", 5'7".
Yeah, I doubt it's above 6 feet.
Yeah.
Which honestly...
You would have to crouch.
Ugh, yeah, annoying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just picturing another, like, heroic adventurer coming in who's, like, tall and, tall and, like, strong and buff and has to squat and get through.
Squat down.
Like, he'd probably be more scared of that. But, like, just, like, that just gives it such a claustrophobic feeling. Like, imagine being in a room that's only as tall as you are.
It's dark, it's cold, there are, like, evil things in there.
You're holding a torch that's flickering and illuminating the corpses around you, which is, like, this, like...
staring at you, like...
And then they start moving.
Yeah, the second you start to be scared, they start moving. And because they're moving, you're getting more scared. So they're moving more. coming at you.
It's a snowballing effect.
Yeah, it really is.
And I love the quick little... Where is it? Okay. So they start moving. He's getting scared. He says he became scared that he was becoming scared.
Yeah, seriously.
Dry bones scuffed against the dirt floor. Desiccated arms reach toward him. Because they're all, like, mummified. They're not just, like, rotting corpses. They're, like, mummified corpses. But that's still terrifying.
Still terrifying, yeah.
So it says, his mind scrambled. What was his problem? Why was he losing his grip? Was it being alone? Was it self-doubt? Was it the thought of walking towards the undead crowd? Was it the cold? Was it the low ceiling? The quantity of corpses? The inhumanity of their appearance? The way their joints creaked when they moved? The fact that he had lost control enough to let them start moving? Some snowballing combination of all these factors? The answer is yes. It's that last one.
And I kind of like how he has to, like, come to terms with the fear. Because he's like, perhaps he had been too overconfident, too assured of his immunity to magical fear would prevent natural fear. Like anyone, he still got scared. Which is totally, like, you know, understandable. Mm-hmm. It's hard it's hard to go into any situation akin to this without any fear at all. It is completely natural. But he has to get control of it. And as they start getting closer to him, he starts being like, oh, am I about to die? And then that makes him think, what about his family? What about my family? I have to live to survive this to help them.
Yeah. This is like, can I read the specific part?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, how could he change his feelings? When he had nightmares, the experience was always worst when he was alone. If there was ever a friend in his dream, somebody to protect, the fear lost potency. He will protect those who cannot protect themselves. I'm sorry, he's giving some serious Windrunner vibes right now.
Okay, but it's mostly he'll do it because he, like, being around other people gives him bravery, basically.
I agree, and I think he has mentioned this before, like, whenever Kendra's, like, he prefers having Kendra around.
Yes, yeah.
So that he can be brave when she's not.
When was that?
I feel like it was, like, book 2.
Was it when he went to the Revenant?
Maybe. That might be it.
Because that was also, like, fear, but that was, like, magical fear. And he had to drink the courage potion.
No, yeah, I think you're right. It was something like that, though. He was like, I wish Kendra were here.
Yeah.
He said he's always braver when Kendra was around.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
But yeah, so he, at this moment, as fleshless fingers, hate saying that.
Bones.
As fleshless fingers grasped for him, he needed somebody to be brave for, somebody to not let down. He struggled to summon images of his family, his parents, his grandparents.
What came was the memory of Coulter. He saw his friend pinned under a beam, heard him gasping his last breaths. Coulter, who had saved him in the grove with the Revenant, when magical fear had frozen them. Suddenly Seth no longer felt alone. There was no way he was going to let Coulter down. He had promised. Oh, that's an incredible moment.
Coulter, you absolute beast. Save the day.
Yeah.
And I love that. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, the thought of Coulter he literally yells, "Stop!" swinging his torch angrily. And the corpses stop.
It's so good. Especially because, like, initially Coulter saves him, like he mentions the first time, from the magical fear of the Revenant. And now Coulter's saving him from just his own fear.
I like that. Oh, that's so good. Oh my gosh. I never realized that before.
I only put it together just now, like, rereading, because, like, it mentions that specifically, I think, to bring up that idea. Mm-hmm. Like, he saved him once, now the thought of him saving him again.
Yeah.
So good.
He just can't let him down.
Can't let that broken promise hold.
And I kind of like his, like, approach now. He says, "I'm not afraid anymore. You just startled me." And he says the words and realized they were true. Apparently the standing dead consented as well. None of them stirred. And then he starts, like, making fun of them. He says, "You guys have got to be the shabbiest dead people I've ever seen. You're what's left when the vultures give up. You make zombies look healthy. If you want to scare people, you better pool your funds and rent a wraith or something." That's so Seth of him.
That's so... I mean, but it makes sense, like...
Yeah. That's how he, like, he's done it before.
Yeah, it's how he copes.
That's how he copes. That's how he continues to be brave. He uses his humor to make himself laugh and be like, belittle his enemy, basically. Mm-hmm. It works.
So, Seth has made it through the standing dead, and gets to the back of the room, and he finds a door with no knob and no keyhole, but when he pushes on it, the door swings inward. But then immediately his torch goes out.
That would scare me.
Oh, I would be absolutely...
I'd be like, oh! And then the standing dead would get me.
the fact that after he opened up the door, he enters the room and does close it, and is like, whew, at least I have a barrier between myself and them. Oh. And then he's like, okay, flashlight? Nope, doesn't turn on. So that's unfortunate.
And then a voice. Why have you intruded on my privacy? A weary male voice rasped further in the room. Who's there? Seth asked. It took courage to pass the standing dead, the voice said. Especially after you initially lost your composure. Yet they are nothing compared to me. I could slay you with a word. Dang. It's good guy's got aura right here.
It's a good thing the door's closed.
Who are you? Seth asked again. I am one of the undead, the voice answered. Aren't you supposed to be a shadow charmer, Seth? Can't you probe my thoughts? How do you know my name? Your mind was open to me the moment you entered the altar door. More open than most would be. What would you suppose your parents are doing right now? Dying, perchance, like your friend Coulter?
That is so rude.
Dang, he is baiting him hard.
But the reason becomes very obvious really quickly, because, where's it go? Like in the next, like Seth gets a little bit pissed about that line, because he's like, hey, take it too far and I'm gonna get mad.
I don't care what you are, you better shut up.
And so then the voice then just asks, why do you want Vasilis? And then Seth is just gathering his thoughts, trying to think of what to say, like what this guy would want to say, maybe, would want to hear. Mm-hmm. And the voice just says, don't worry, I just need to get your thoughts on the right track so I could read your mind more clearly. So, we're that close to being screwed, huh? And Seth's like, yep. Zizix is just about open. You know about Zizix? He's like, oh, well, more than you might think.
Yeah, we learned that his name is Morrisant.
The voice.
Yes, the voice. The zombie. So we learned that the voice is someone named Morrisant, and he was the chief architect of Zizix. And Seth, very fairly, is very confused. He says, but I thought wizards made Zizix. And he says, precisely. And so we learned that he's a wizard, and he was considered the most influential wizard in the world. And he's like, I see you know Agid. I'm glad to know he is well. He assisted me with Zizix. So he's just kind of like saying like all these like big things of like, he was the main architect of Zizix. He's a wizard, or was a, I don't know if he probably still counts as a wizard.
You're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard. Yeah, he is a wizard, but he used magic to try and lengthen his life, basically, even more. Yeah.
So basically, what he explains is wizards are not effectively immortal. They can die, just because even though they age much slower than most creatures, does not mean they do not age. And so as he was reaching the end of his life, he decided to extend it by turning himself into one of the undead. And when he did that, though, he lost some part of himself. You can't really define what it is. Like, we could probably make some guesses, like a part of his soul, his humanity, like that spark that defines life that can never really be brought back no matter what. Like, once it's gone, it's really gone. Mm-hmm. But once this happens, though, his sword, Vasilis, because he was the original wielder of Vasilis, began to change, and he says, quote, lose its luster. Because it's revealed that Vasilis reflects the heart and the intentions and the soul of its wielder. And so once Morrisant changed into becoming one of the undead and started losing his humanity, Vasilis reflected that.
Became a lot more dangerous in his hands. And I like when Seth asks, how did you end up here? Seth asked. There is more than one answer to that question. I'm here because Agad put me here. That is an accurate response. I am here because I'm the master of Vasilis. Also accurate. Best answer? I am here because of hubris.
You mean that weird stuff you put on sandwiches?
Hot hummus. What is that from? That's a quote, isn't it? What is it?
Where else does hubris become up? In
a
books?
lot of things!
Okay, but where in books that we have read not recently?
Probably Percy Jackson.
And who do you think says hummus?
Percy! Definitely, yeah. It's because that's Annabeth's fatal flaw, and she says hubris, isn't it?
And Percy's like, that weird stuff you put on
like,
sandwiches,
no,
and she's like,
brain.
not hummus, hubris.
Yes.
So, Sea of Monsters, in case anyone's wondering.
My brain, yeah, I remember that now. They better have that in season 2.
I was waiting to say that since last night when I read that. I was like, oh, here it comes. There's a Percy Jackson reference I can make.
Oh my gosh. Okay, back to being a little more serious. I'm here because of hubris. Hubris? That unhealthy variety of pride which leads a man to destroy himself. You see, sometimes when a person gains too much power, he believes he's above the rules that apply to others. And that's what he talks about, being how long wizards live. I think it's so interesting that he's like... It's clear that he's been in here long enough to kind of appreciate... Like, he doesn't feel very bitter about his imprisonment. It feels like he thinks it was the right thing, and he's just waiting for the right person to come along.
Mm-hmm. Like, Seth even asks, like, you seem to be back in control of yourself. Like, he mentions that, like, he had to be imprisoned by Agad and the other wizards, and he was left to defend Vasilis because the sword cannot be forcibly taken from its wielder.
Yeah.
And so Seth is like, well, you seem all right now. And Morrisan says, well, yeah, it's been a couple centuries. It kind of puts one's life back in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But he still recognizes that he is no longer human. He is no longer, well, I guess he was never human. He was a dragon.
He's no longer the same man he used to be.
Yeah, he is no longer alive.
He says, my nature is fundamentally corrupted. I fought against darkness my whole life, only to become everything I despised. My only hope for atonement is to undo the perversions I have sired and submit to the inevitable. Like,
in other words, die.
Die. Yeah.
And Seth has to be the one to to strike the blow.
I find Morrisan such an interesting character that we barely get any time with. Mm-hmm. And it'd be so interesting to be able to explore him more. Because he literally, first of all, was like the most influential or maybe even powerful wizard, being like the head honcho of Zyzzyx, of creating Zyzzyx. And then as time went on, he didn't want to die, you know.
Which,
so instead of making a Horcrux like every other person, he decides to become one of the undead and corrupts his nature. And so everyone he ever trusted has to turn on him and imprison him. And then he just has to be there for centuries and slowly comes to terms with it and is like, well, now I have to taste of death, the one thing that I did everything to avoid. So interesting.
Exactly. And yeah, he ended up just saying, hey, Seth, it's time, and you need to be the one. This is the only way you get Vasilis. Like, I've examined your minds, and unlike all the ones who've come before you, like, some candidates for the sword were slain by the standing dead, and then the rest were slain by me after I examined their minds. So they maybe wanted the sword for the wrong reasons. Maybe they wanted it for the right reasons, but eventually it would turn into the wrong hands. Like, you either die a hero or live to see yourself become the villain, But for Seth, he's in a unique position because he doesn't want the sword from himself, and also he doesn't even want to keep it. Morrisan sees that part of the agreement with the Singing Sisters is that he has to give it back to them. Mm-hmm. He has to retrieve another object at one point, but he has to give it back to the Singing Sisters. And he's like, they will be good guardians, they will never wield it, but this will be a good trade. But you have to kill me first.
Well, they can't wield it, they don't have hands.
True. Very true.
But yeah. And at first, Seth is like, not sure if he wants to kill him, because he, has had a conversation with him and realizes he kind of sees him as like, not as evil.
The direct quote is, "But you're nice." Yeah. Which I'm like,
and Morrison's like, you have to kill me. It would honestly be a mercy.
Honestly, this is like
to do that.
This should have been how the interactions with Growlithe went. Like, with like Seth having been an entity that helped Seth, but eventually needs to die, because inherently, at their core,
except Growlithe wouldn't ask for it.
No, he wouldn't. He was too afraid of it. Oh my gosh, here's another parallel between the two. Yeah. Like last week we had between Mark and Bracken, like how two different mortals react with the concept of a long life. Now
Bracken's not mortal, but yeah.
Well, faced with the
living a mortal life, but
living immortally among living as an immortal among mortals.
Yeah.
Whereas now we have near immortals nearing the end of their lives. And then being faced with the concept of ending. We have contrasting examples of this between Growlithe and Morrisant. Both put in very similar positions. Both of them were festering, for lack of I think that's actually a decent word. Festering for generations, if not centuries, in just what they are and what they've done. Both are inherently what we would define as evil, a demon and an undead wizard. One used this time and opportunity to realize his wrongdoings and help the next generation before passing on and accepting his fate. The other decides to screw over the world and try to hold on to his mortality, to his life with his last breath, with everything he has.
It's interesting. They both ask Seth for mercy, because Growlithe asked for mercy, a more merciful death with the Sands of Sanctity, but it was always a trick. But Morrisant asks for mercy to be killed, to put him out of his misery, basically, and to also kind of protect the world in a way, because he knows if he got and started willing Vassilis, he would do wrong with it.
So he knows just the better option is just to let go.
And at this point, Seth is able to show the mercy that he intended, in the way that he intends.
Holy crap, yeah. Wow, okay, Brandonville.
Yeah.
And okay, Megan, with those bars, drop them.
That's very cool.
Someone get this girl an inexpensive mic to drop, because the ones we have currently are way too cool.
Yeah, I like that parallel a lot.
It's the second one we've had in a single, wow, this is a book of parallels. Growlithe and Morrisant, Bracken and Mark. What do we get next?
Kendra and Seth are kind of parallels, but opposite sides of the coin.
Fair.
Yin and yang. I also really like when Seth says, "Do you have any advice? Can you help me? If Zizix falls, I'm not sure what to do." Which honestly was a good question to ask to the person who created Zizix and is thousands and thousands of years old.
I was half expecting what is the meaning of life.
No, oh my gosh, not again. Never escaped that question.
Not in a Brandon Moe book.
Nope.
But it did not come up here. But yeah, the advice.
Yeah, and then Morrisant says, "You're on the proper course, in ways you may not yet understand. I tried to design Zizix intelligently. I am glad that Bracken is with you. Try to get word to Agid. He could be useful. Ancient magic bound the demons. Ancient magic might save you again. Ancient magic might save you. Not to minimize the threat, this horde of demons is stronger than any force you could possibly muster. Should the chance arise, give Bracken and Agid my regards. Thank them for me, and please convey that I hold no grudges."
Which makes me wonder, was Bracken and, like, the Fairy Queen involved with imprisoning Morissette?
Well, Bracken gave his horn to the wizards.
Oh, good point.
As the font of immortality, so he has to know him.
That's true. I think that would be cool. Like, the imprisonment with Bracken was there, too, to kind of help balance the scales, because, I mean, Morissette was the oldest and most powerful wizard, arguably, and so Seth is then able to pick up the sword, and as he does so, Morissette continues ruminating on the possibilities. He's like, a virtuous shadow charmer. If the sword reflects the soul and the intentions of the wielder, this should be very, very interesting. Very formidable sword in your grasp. And then about you, the very kind sister of yours. That could be interesting. But enough about that. Fulfill your promise.
Yeah. I love how he's like, it'll be interesting to see how the sword takes to you. And your sister.
Mm-hmm.
The sheath rests beside the sword. Do not unsheath the blade more often than necessary. Should you fall, no enemy can claim Vasilis, only a friend. In life, the sword can only be given away voluntarily. A single caution: Vasilis is powerful, and power can have an adverse effect on the heart and mind, which can in turn alter the sword. Many have acquired the sword while walking in the light, only to lose it in darkness. I'll do my best, Seth promised.
Coulter would be proud.
Yep.
Wow, this man really read Seth's mind to a T.
He read his mind and heart, which he needed to, obviously, to give him the sword. Now, Seth Sorensen, I hereby transfer Vasilis into your care, on condition that you release me and my fellow abominations from our necrotic prisons. Take up the sword and keep your promise.
Seth crossed the room to where the sword stuck out of the ground. He could hardly believe he had made it this far. Maybe he really would keep his promise to Coulter. Maybe he would find a way to stop the demons and save his family. When he grabbed the hilt, warmth flooded through him. The dark blade burst into red flames, and the white radiance became scarlet. The blade came out of the ground easily. The sword felt less like something to grasp, and more like an extension of his arm. His emotions were magnified, his fury at Growlithe keener, his sense of purpose clearer, the concern for his family more poignant. The courage he had struggled to find when facing the standing dead now seemed to spring from an unending well. So I love how it just magnifies everything.
It's so awesome.
It's great.
Yes, the wizard said, obviously delighted. You will be most formidable. And Seth, the sword, like, invigorates him, and he strides forward, but he hesitates.
Because of course he does. Because he's a cute, sweet little boy who's
But
still a teenager.
Morissette is like, you promised. It is an act of true mercy. The wizard raised his voice. Let it be known that Morissette the Magnificent died in possession of himself. Better late than never.
There's something about somebody giving themselves a title.
Morissette the Magnificent.
Like, I know that's probably...
Okay, well, that's probably what
it's probably his actual... No, I agree. It's probably his actual...
But him saying it, yeah.
It's just, like, a little bit like, did you have to say that, dude?
Just speaking in the third person.
it almost gives, like, I give you King Peter, the Magnificent.
I mean...
Just, like, the way it's said in the movie, because...
In the movie, yeah. In the movie.
They haven't really done anything to earn those.
Peter's like, hi, King Peter, the Magnificent. Could have left off the last bit. Probably could have left the last bit. Probably. But it's like epic though. Like
it is.
It works. Have his one last thing before he dies.
It works a lot better here, especially with it being his final moment than with Peter.
Yeah. Oh, but Seth is so cool with Vasilis.
Oh, he's sick.
So yeah, he, in his mercy, and keeping his promise, kills Morissette, and goes out and kills all of the standing dead.
Fire!
Basically, they all burst into flame like dry tinder. It's interesting because
the room.
He says, like, he found himself wondering if he was wielding the sword or if the sword was wielding him. The weapon felt alive in his hands, seemingly rejoicing at the massacre.
Or was he the one rejoicing? This gets very blurry.
Yeah, no, I just think it's so interesting now. It, like, basically, like, becomes alive in his hands. Like, that's a cool sword. Seth slays all of the standing dead, and he's like, oh, wait, I forgot the sheath. So he has to go back in and get it.
And he also compares how he feels while holding the sword to when he is not holding the sword. He describes it as a sense of immediate sense of loss. He suddenly felt tired and clammy and much smaller. Yeah, it like empowers you and strengthens you while you're wielding it, but the second you put it away, you feel that loss, and it's like coming down from a sugar high.
Could be addictive.
Which is why Morrison says, use it sparingly.
Yeah.
Sheathe it when you can, don't overuse it.
Which he does. He walks out into the sunlight, and the totem wall, they all look at him for a second in silence, and then the hunter is like, now that is a sword! Which I love. And then he sheathes it, and
what's that a quote from?
As you were saying, he suddenly feels small and clammy and tired.
But yeah.
And he reclaims his things.
And off he goes to rejoin his friends. Alright, so back with Kendra.
Seth has an awesome sword.
Seth has an awesome sword, but now we gotta catch up with Kendra.
Yeah.
Chapter 24. Sivia. So
they're in Texas.
And Araxtis is our responsible flying adult part 2. Both him and Vanessa are getting like 0 sleep right now.
Oh, seriously. No rest for the weary.
Because he has not only flown them all across the United States. No. He flew them from Europe.
He's flown from Turkey.
From the Middle East.
Turkey to like Finland to California to Texas.
The boy needs a break.
Yeah. But there is no time for sleeping. They have reunited with Warren, who came from Istanbul, as he's now healed up. Cue the song.
We can leave it there. We've done that one enough.
Yeah.
All right.
And they're like, okay, the Eternal is grocery shopping. They've got a rental car. There's like, basically like, what's it called?
Stalking.
That. Like when the police do it, like...
Oh,
stakeout.
Stakeout.
They're doing a stakeout.
I was like, scoping?
They're doing a stakeout.
It's a stakeout.
Yeah.
Yeah, Warren's only been on our tail for a couple hours. He managed to get a location from Nico that put him right outside her apartment, and so he's able to just track her from there. They also know that what her shapeshifter looks like is I don't know how to say this.
Bichon Freeze.
That's how it is? I think I've always said, like, beacon. A beacon
that's
freeze.
How said it in the audiobook, so that's what I'm going with.
It looks like it would be French. Bichon Freeze.
Bichon Freeze.
Which is a little white, curly-haired lapdog. So that's nice.
Yes. And they're like, okay, our plan. Kendra approaches her. You are the most normally dressed and least threatening person we have.
For real.
So you're gonna go in first.
Yeah. She's managed to switch out the wolfskin cloak with some normal clothes after everything got wet from her.
Bracken's still dressed up in his getup of...
after her dip in the Santa Monica Bay.
What is it, like Henry V or whatever, the play that they're
doing?
That
was it, yeah. Terrible pay, minimum wage, sucks. Anyway, so Warren gets in a good quip when he's like, Kendra, don't you have armor? She's like, everything I had got soaked. I'm actually kind of glad. Armor isn't my thing. I felt clunky. Armor gets much more convenient once people start trying to cut you open.
Yeah, I love that part.
Warren's an absolute G.
Warren's like, okay, to make it easier to protect you, would you like to put on armor again?
He's like, I've lost you once, I won't lose you again.
Yeah. So yeah, Kendra heads in to the grocery store with Warren. Not together, though, but, like, kind of separate.
Uh-huh.
But, you know. And he kind of points her over to the produce, because that's where Sivia is. And she finds her in the produce, because she spots the dog. She's like, well, that must be her. And she's kind of, like, trying to, you know, watch her, not watch her at the same time. But, like, the dog, like, clocks her.
Immediately.
And is, like, staring at her, and she, like, looks, the dog's staring, looks away, looks back, the dog's still staring. So she's not doing really good at being covert.
One thing I do find interesting is that Bracken describes the shapeshifter, the Bichon Freeze, as a female shapeshifter, which Warren took to be very, like, surprising. He's like, a female shapeshifter?
Which I didn't get. I was like...
Is that not normal?
So? Why does that matter?
I mean, I guess the other two that we've seen have been male, but...
Yeah, but... There were 2 other Eternals that we didn't even see.
Yeah.
So.
I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird detail to me. I was like, what does that matter?
Like, Bracken
I don't
is
know
then
what I'm
like...
missing here.
Bracken says, I'm not sure how gender works with shapeshifters, but Nico called her female, so we're gonna roll with that.
Yeah.
So.
It's basically, Kendra's like, well... Forget it. I'm just gonna walk up to her.
Clearly, I'm nothing like a spy.
I've been had.
I'm no Shalon, so we're just gonna walk up. She got too many tells. So
the woman says, "Can I help you?" And Kendra starts real strong. Please believe me.
Well, I mean,
I'm here to help. The society is moving in on you again.
Well, the last time I can remember Kendra trying something like this, it's back when she was Tarina's captive, and she tries to save that one dude who's falling for the catfishing scheme.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You gotta get out of here. Like, this is a trap. You're gonna die. She's a evil witch." And he's just like, "Really? Is this really what we're doing? Like, come on." And she's like, "Will you?" And then like she writes all those letters saying, "This is not a joke. I am a kidnapped person. Help me."
The only difference is that Sivia knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, so Sivia tries to play dumb, but then Kendra just keeps triggering her basically by saying, "I know who you are. The society's coming.
They have the Oculus. I'm here with a unicorn, a dragon, and a friend, trying to save your life."
A unicorn, a dragon, and a human walk into a bar.
Yeah, it does kind of sound like a joke. Yeah, and then Sivia decides to drop all pretenses, and she pulls out a switchblade.
But the thing is, the fact that she even does it the way she does, where she grabs Kendra by around the shoulders, and she's like, "Sweetie, listen, sweetheart, I don't know who you are, but I'm doing just fine," as she's pressing a switchblade into her side in the middle of a public place. Mm-hmm. And so Kendra's like, "Okay, so if I say the wrong thing here, I'm dead."
I'm about to get shanked by an Eternal. And Kendra is like, "Okay, yeah, we gotta be careful." But she's like, "You're the last Eternal. We need to get you out of here."
Like, we gotta get you going.
Yeah. And Sivia's like, "Okay, walk out with me." And Kendra's like, "I'm not alone." And, you know, who's also very aware of the knife at Kendra's side, Warren.
He comes up, abandoning any pretense about not being watching her. Because let's be honest, the Bichon Frise probably didn't clock Warren. He's just too good. Yeah. But it's so funny where he's just like, "Let her go. I don't care who you are. If you touch her, you are dead."
Yeah. It's like, I don't care who you are. If you hurt her, I'll break your neck.
So Sivia ends up just shoving Kendra off to the side and saying, "I'll be better off on my own," and then making a break for it. Warren checks on Kendra and then goes after her. But they end up falling up on an old classic standby, which is pin the Eternal with the dragon.
Yeah.
It worked for Mark, why not her?
Make it in the back of the parking lot behind the store, and boom, Praxis right on top of her. And Bracken comes up with the SUV, and they all get in, because they're like, "We are wasting time here. The society's closing in. We need to go."
Yeah,
and so
of course,
Sylvia's
Warren's
like,
over here trying to fend off a Bichon Frise / owl.
Yeah, it keeps changing. Shape-shifting.
Which sounds actually really cute.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't mind a little owl just to cuddle. I don't know.
We find that out. The owl's name, the shapeshifter's name is Janin. And basically, after all that, Sylvia's like, "Okay, fine." And so they all get in the car and they start driving.
And it comes out like, "Hey, we're all on the same side here. Let's not shank each other. Let's just be friends, okay?" And Sivia's like, "Okay, I'm sorry. To be fair, I have been doing this for centuries, if not thousands of years, and, like, every time I've nearly been caught or gotten somebody killed, it was because of a close personal relationship.
Yeah.
At this point, I just know it's better to work alone. My job is to stay alive. I take it very, very seriously, and I just do better by myself." And they have to convince her that maybe you have been doing it by yourself, and maybe that's been working for you up till now. But now your enemies have the Oculus, and it is no longer going to work.
Yeah, they're like, the game has changed. They aren't playing by the same rules, so we have to adapt as well, basically. And she talks about how that she had a close call recently, because we heard about that there was an Eternal in South America that recently fled, and that's the one in Texas, so that's Sivia. She had been in Ecuador, and she kind of caught wind that they had found her, so she, like, barely escaped, and she didn't even realize that it was because they had the Oculus. So this is the second time that the society has tried to get her. And
the fact that she even got away the first time is
yeah,
amazing.
No. There's a reason she's the last one. She is always prepared.
She is a survivor.
She literally
not gonna give up.
Takes her job very seriously. Very, very seriously. She says, I have identities all over the world. I'm fluent in 30 languages, passable in 30 more, access to huge sums of money. She's like, I hide motorcycles and watercraft and vehicles and weapons in places. And
helicopters.
She sets traps. Helicopters, yeah. Like, she takes it seriously, and you could tell. Mm-hmm. Which is very refreshing after Mark last time.
Indeed. But even the sad thing is that they tell her that the idea is to get her to Worm Roost. And she's like, well, yeah, it's a great idea, but it's not gonna work. Let's be honest here. And they're like, no, we'll get you to Worm Roost. It's a dragon sanctuary. It's attic. We'll keep you safe. And she's just like, you know what? Let's be honest. If they have all of this, she says, if this demon is as adept with the Oculus as you say, we will be intercepted and I will be destroyed. If all their attention is now focused on me and they have the kind of resources you described, we have no realistic defense. Like, Kendra's like, we have to try though. Like, we can't give up. And Sibby's like, oh, we'll try for sure. I'm not going to lay down and die. Who on earth would do that?
Oh, I don't know.
She's like, I'm sorry if I sound fatalistic, but this is my assessment of the circumstances. We can try and beat them, but this is how I read the situation. And because this is a story and we know how it ends, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's actually it's just very refreshing to see someone who dealt with it in this way.
Yeah.
She did her best. She stayed alive for all these years.
She's willing to try, though. Yeah. Like, she's like, okay, well then let's go to my storage unit where I keep all my goodies.
Which honestly makes me wonder, did she set this up before or after she went to South America?
Yeah, maybe she had her stuff in Texas before. And
like,
then,
she just
years before.
I would be surprised if she has stashes all over the world at this point.
Yeah, easy. For sure. And she probably was just going to one of them in Texas. So yeah, she puts in the address to the storage locker and they go there.
So they stock up. Basically, they get inside. Raxus is doing reconnaissance, but they all arm up, basically. Kendra gets a little bit of armor because she's not insane and she knows what's coming.
Yeah.
And they just see, like, there's walls and walls of swords, of shields, crossbows, bows, motorcycles.
You never know what you'll find in a storage locker, I guess. Imagine the episode of Storage
Wars. That's what I was gonna say! I used to love that show.
Me too.
Whenever they saw, like, a safe, they would go gaga for it. Yep.
I hated that guy. He was so annoying.
Sucked. I hated him.
My family used to watch Storage Wars all the time.
It was somebody in Brandy?
Yeah.
The couple?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember that.
I forget her first name, but yep. Mm-hmm.
And then there was, like, they started another show in, like, Texas. It was, like, Storage Wars Texas.
I do remember that one.
I watched that one a little bit, too. Man. Shout out to you if you also watch Storage Wars.
Shout out if it's only because your dad would just put it on and make you watch it because there's nothing else on.
That's true, too. Okay, so they're gearing up, and then Raxus comes back saying they're here. They're closing in from basically all directions.
We got 4 black vans, 3 wyverns, which we know Raxus can take care of now, and a fire drake. And the fire drake at this point is the only thing that Raxus is concerned about. Bracken even asks, like, can you take out the fire drake? He already knows about the wyverns, he can get him down. But the fire drake, and Raxus is just like, I think so, which in Raxus speak is, no, I got this, go on, chill.
Yeah. And Bracken says, go up alone, invisible. Take care of the airborne threats, then return for Sivia. We'll hold off the others.
One thing, though, that they did mention earlier on is that the Society strike team was delayed because they were, quote, waiting for a resource that might be of particular interest to Kendra and their group. Mm-hmm. Which I found very interesting.
Which, yes, I do want to talk about a part of that in a second. So, Bracken and Warren go out to face the oncoming enemies, and Sivia gets, into, a leather biker jacket and puts on a motorcycle helmet and is, getting ready to get on a motorcycle. Kendra grabs some arrows and a bow and joins them outside.
And, of course, Janen, matching the temperament of her mistress, goes, "Is this it?" she asked candidly. "I sincerely hope not," Sivia replied. But that's how it's gonna be. So they are Oh, go ahead. Sorry. So they end up being arrayed, they end up seeing their opponents, and it ends up being Raxtus, Bracken, Warren, Kendra, Sivia, and Janen on our side. And on the other side, we have Mirav the Wizard, who calls out magically saying, "Give us the eternal and you all may live," yada yada yada.
Yeah, the classic speech.
The classic BS that we know is never going to work. So it's Mirav,
the Grey Assassin,
Tarina,
a quartet of Minotaurs,
a bunch of armored goblins, which are filling, I think, at least 2 of the vans.
Yeah.
And our old buddy, quest leader,
Trask,
holding a crossbow, because of course he is.
That man always has a crossbow, whether he's being controlled by a narcoblix or not, which he is. Mm-hmm. Which is what we realize. And
one thing I do wonder, though, I feel like a narcoblix, would that really be the best play here? Because at that point, you only have the narcoblix's level of skill. Why not just use, some kind of mind control and then
judging from
Trask's.
Vanessa and her skill, it's probably another skillful narcoblix.
Yeah. I guess I just wonder, is every narcoblix skilled at it? I guess they have to be.
Well, probably the ones in the society are.
Yeah.
It's not like they're born to it. They just do it. They train to it. You know what's really annoying is that direct sunlight kills Mirav, but clouds are enough to make it so he can come outside.
And of course, Kenner's does he have something to do with that?
Yeah, he probably summoned the clouds. And Bracken's let's talk about this. And overhead, Raxtus is fighting the wyverns.
And winning.
Yes. But Mirav tries to level the playing field. He uses his magic and makes Raxtus visible.
Because, let's be honest, Raxtus, one of his big advantages is that he can turn invisible and then attack his enemies without them knowing where he is.
Yeah.
But right before he's going to engage the fire drake, which is actually a flying snake about the length of a telephone pole, so not a little thing.
Yeah.
He becomes visible and has to tangle with it on even terms.
Yeah. And then Mirav says, "You have chosen destruction," the wizard pronounced, yanking the horn of a unicorn from within his robes. The pearly horn was much larger than the horn Kendra had used at Wormroost, perhaps 3 feet in length. From either side of the wizard, the Minotaurs charged, armed with axes and maces. The Grey Assassin dashed toward them from the other direction. The goblins are attacking. The wizard pointed a long-nailed finger at Bracken and commenced chanting.
And at this point, I really wonder about Mirav's mental capacity.
Well, I'll bring it up in a second, what I was thinking. But this part's
hilarious.
Perfect. This is almost peak Bracken right here. Laughing, Bracken threw his sword aside and extended his hand toward the wizard. "To me," he said. Although Kendra understood the meaning of his words, she felt certain he was not speaking English. The unicorn horn leapt from the wizard's hand and streaked at Bracken, who caught it effortlessly. In his grasp, the horn immediately transformed into a sword with an opalescent hilt and a gleaming silver blade. Despite the cloudy sky, with the weapon in his hand, Bracken suddenly appeared as if standing in sunlight. A new glow suffused his countenance, and the sudden fire flashed into his eyes. Bro gave him his second horn.
Like, what an
And
idiot.
what I think happened, I think the Sphinx orchestrated that.
I agree. That one I agree
That's
with.
the only way that would have happened. He must have convinced him that it wasn't Bracken's horn, or else he would have never brought it.
Or at least implied that it wasn't Bracken, like, that it was just, like, another teenager.
Or yeah.
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 Like,
Something like that.
but what an
However way it
idiot.
happened, the Sphinx got Bracken his second horn.
So, basically, the society's screwed.
Yes.
Bracken gets his horn back. His horn back.
Bracken just leveled up here, so.
It really was. Like, it even has, like, the moment where, like, the character, like, glows in, like, a ring of light. Because it even mentions in the book, he appears as if he's standing in sunlight, even though it's a cloudy day. It's just, like, it's that moment where, like, you just hear the ding.
And Jane in the... What's it called?
Shapeshifter.
The shapeshifter. He's like, ha, the fool brought him his second horn. Ha ha ha.
Like, this just got fun.
It's like, heck yeah, let's go Bracken. We're getting into like peak Bracken right here.
Yeah, like, this
From
is...
here to the end, I'm like, let's go.
Like, this is the moment where, like, the Hulk comes out, punches the Leviathan, and then they all just, like, stand in a circle, and the music just culminates, and you just
Always
know
angry.
it's about to get fun.
Oh my gosh.
But yes, so, like, if only we could play some Avengers music here without getting absolutely, like, destroyed by
Okay,
Disney.
yeah. Just imagine it in your head.
Bum, 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 bum.
And we talk about Thanos all the time, so...
It's the hero's journey. There are certain things that are
indeed.
consistent.
It is.
Alright, so, Marav is just like, oh crap, like... He knows he's screwed.
Yeah.
But he keeps trying, so I mean, A for
He's also
effort.
probably so mad at the Sphinx.
Oh, 100%.
I wonder if he's realized that the Sphinx is, like, betraying.
Like, he probably just hears the Sphinx laughing at him from,
Yeah.
like... It's like walking on his grave, like, haha, you lose.
It's so
But, yeah.
awesome. But in the meantime, there are still other adversaries.
Indeed. And Warren decides to take
Take up bowling lessons.
Yes, pretty much. So Warren's in the driver's seat of the SUV that they rented, and he notices that one of the sides of the aisle is completely blocked by black vans, Trask, and the Grey Assassin. So he's like, well, let's get those out of the way, shall we? So he starts just pedal to the metal and just starts charging down the aisle. He's actually trying to hit the Grey Assassin. Like, the Grey Assassin's moving from left to right, and Warren's
Yeah.
like, nope, I'm gonna hit you. And unfortunately, the Grey Assassin must have spent some time in Spain and did some running with the bulls, because he manages to dodge at the last second.
Gave a chicken.
Indeed. And keeps heading towards Kendra and Sivia. But Warren continues on, plows through a group of goblins, and smashes the vans out of the way as he dives out the window with a nice rolling with a nice rolling exit.
I can just imagine that this is something that Warren has kind of always wanted to do.
He's thinking, can't wait to tell Seth about that.
He's like, check this off my bucket list. Exactly. Can't wait to tell Seth about this one.
Maybe Vanessa
He'll
too.
appreciate how awesome it is.
Indeed. So, at the same time, Grey Assassin is still coming at them. So Kendra is like, well, I have a bow, I have an arrow, pew pew. Let's try it.
She's trying, but he just slashes it out of the air.
To be fair, it was on target.
True.
We'll give her that. It was on target.
It's true.
But the Grey Assassin's just, he's a little too good for that.
And Bracken is fighting Mirov and some Minotaurs.
He's really just,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, he's just chilling. Like, he's dancing through. He's just slashing them down left and right. Like, the Minotaurs seemed slow and clumsy as Bracken danced among them, slaying one after another. Mirov is just... Mirov's actually on fire, fun fact.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Because he tried...
He
He tried to
robes
fire
ablaze.
those darts at Bracken after he
Uh-huh.
lost the horn, and Bracken just turned them right back on
There's just so much happening.
He just did, like... Bracken just played an Uno reverse card.
It's hard to keep track of everything that's happening.
Indeed.
Meanwhile, the Grey Assassin's still coming at Kendra and Sivia, and they're both trying to shoot arrows at it. And then, from behind, the shapeshifter Janin intercepts an arrow from Tarina meant for Sivia.
Not just any kind of arrow, a phoenix feather arrow, prompting Janin to immediately burst into flames.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what would have happened to Sivia if Janin had not interfered.
Mm-hmm.
And you could just see, like, you're only allowed, like, a line for it, but, like, Sivia is distraught over this.
Yeah, it really affects her.
This is her companion, her only companion for thousands of years, and she's gone. Just like that.
So they go back into the storage locker.
Because we have no time. Like, we can't grieve, we can't do anything, we can't process, we just gotta go.
Literally, like, they close the doors to the storage locker, and a pair of goblins start, like, trying to get the door open.
Yeah. At this point as well, Sivia is trying to get on a motorcycle and get away because, A, they know that this fight is going to be lost if anything hits Sivia, so they gotta get her out.
Yeah.
B, Warren just very helpfully had a strike and cleared the way.
Cleared the way.
Cleared the way, additionally, the way opposite of the wizard Lectoblix and other dangerous things.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that stands in their way is the Grey Assassin and a couple of goblins, which they think maybe she can dodge if they get her out quickly.
But actually, here comes another helper to come.
Indeed.
Here comes Nico, the other shapeshifter, and he starts taking down the goblins and fighting the Grey Assassin.
And again, it's, like, done so quickly. Like, it's just in the middle of a paragraph, so unceremonious, where it's just like, as the Grey Assassin moved forward, swords ready, a grizzly bear slammed into him from the side. I'm just imagining Kendra, because they're inside the storage locker. The only view they have right now is just the Grey Assassin standing in the doorway with a couple of goblins.
A grizzly bear comes out of nowhere.
Just careens into the view and slams the assassin out of the way.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, he turns back to a tiger, just starts dispatching goblins left and right, and it's just an absolute beast.
Mm-hmm. And so while the Grey Assassin is distracted, Sivia pulls out on her motorcycle and starts riding down the aisle. But it's not a clean getaway.
Mm-hmm.
Behind her, again, is the stupidly accurate archer Tarina.
At the other end of the aisle, yeah.
At the other end of the aisle. And she draws back yet another phoenix arrow and shoots it at Sivia.
And despite Kendra trying her best, like, Kendra had even loosed an arrow in Tarina's direction, trying to, A, distract the Lectoblix, or ideally wound/kill her. That would be great, actually. But her arrow goes wide, doesn't do anything, and
Nico
Tarina
tries to jump into the arrow as well. And I hate to give Tarina her dues, but that's a crazy shot.
Yeah, honestly. It was like, it was at a considerable distance, Kendra says, probably at least 200 feet.
And she's also, like, on a motorcycle, you know,
driving away.
And she hits her right in the back.
What a shot. Gotta say it. Gotta give her props.
I hate
what a shot.
I hate it, but yes.
It's like, yeah. It's like when you're playing a basketball game and the team hits, like, an awesome shot past your defender, and you're like, ooh, I hate you, but that was good. That was cool. It was not cool, though. It was terrible.
It was not good, because now Sivia, the last Eternal, is dying, bursting into flames.
Yeah. Nico rushes to her side while Kendra is, like, watching helpless. Some comeuppance for her recent actions. Raxus comes out of the sky while Tarina's, like, kind of preening a little bit.
She's up on a van.
Right? And he just bats her off.
Smacks her with his claws and moves on.
Sends her flying.
That's gotta feel so good.
Mm-hmm.
And, the Grey Assassin, saying that their quarry has been dispatched, goes to help Mirav with Bracken. And to Kendra's credit, she does pick up a sword and wants to go help.
Because, I mean, she's seen the Grey Assassin in action. She knows that he's not weak. He's powerful. And so she's like, I gotta go help Bracken. I gotta go do something, because she's gotta be feeling a little bit impotent during this battle. Like, she's been helpful, but she hasn't had as much of an impact as, say, Warren or Bracken have.
And as she, like, gets back into the aisle from grabbing a sword, she sees she sees Bracken take down the Grey Assassin pretty handily. Like, which shows his, like, his swordsmanship.
But Bracken also now has the full power of his magic. Well, maybe not full power, but increased abilities thanks to his second horn. No longer can he just make a stone glow. Now he can hold up a hand and produce a blinding burst of light that distracts and blinds the Grey Assassin long enough for him to dispatch him.
I mean, it says, lowering his sword, Bracken narrowly dodged 2 hasty slashes without parrying. Like, he's, like, not even touching his swords. And then, blade flashing like lightning, cut down the Grey Assassin with a single stroke.
Pretty good. Pretty good. I will say that.
That's pretty impressive.
And immediately after that, he turns around and just starts stalking towards Mirav. And it's just like, oh, that is probably so intimidating.
Also, the line that he says, I'll break you if I must.
And I'm just...
Like, dang!
Like, Mirav has, like, been such a an intimidating figure since the beginning of this book.
Yeah.
He was instrumental in capturing pretty much the entire strike force that went to Obsidian Waste to get the translocator, and nearly
and captured them when they were in Living Mirage. Like,
so much. And he is cowering behind a flickering magical shield as Bracken is just casually walking towards him and dropping absolute bars.
Yeah. And all Bracken has to do is, like, use his magic, breaks the shield, and then kills him.
And Kendra just has to look away for a second, because, I mean, she is still a 16-year-old girl who is being confronted with mass death on all sides.
Yeah. But again, this just shows Bracken's power. The Grey Assassin and Mirav were, like, the top operatives for the society. Like, some of their most powerful people. And he takes them both down in, like, a minute. It's crazy.
You can also imagine he's probably kind of pissed right now.
Oh, yeah, he's finally like, I finally have the power to do this.
Like, I could hear, like, there's, like, a simmering anger in that I'll break you if I must, like, phrase. Just like he's a little bit pissed that everything has now gone to crap and everything is, like, screwed over.
True.
He's just like, yeah, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And so Kendra runs over to Sivia and Nico. Sivia is completely still. She's just a charcoal lump at this point. But Nico is still... He's still
his last
moving.
breaths.
Yeah, he's still moving. Kendra reaches for him and starts just kind of, like, smoothing his fur.
Trying to comfort him.
Because, I mean, he's still wounded. Like, he's not able to heal now that the final Eternal is gone. And he's just like, she's gone, Nico mourned, voice groggy. I'm going. The final Eternal has fallen. I failed.
I feel so bad for Nico.
Honestly!
Like, it makes me so sad.
He just wanted to help. He was trying to fulfill his purpose. He lost Rune, and then had to immediately transition to finding vengeance for the ones who killed his friend, and trying to save the rest of the world. And now he just has to sit here and know that he failed. And Kendra is just like, I'm so sorry.
She's like, you saved me, thank you. And he's like, my pleasure. And his last words, he's talking about Rune, and he says, I go to him. And then him and Sivia both dissolve into black dust.
I do want to mention that he also says, my pleasure about saving Kendra, perhaps it will be enough. Because, like, when they found Nico, he was just laying at the steps of of Rune's throne, and just waiting for a chance for vengeance. But when he saw a chance for, maybe not redemption, but for continued hope, he jumped in with both paws, I guess. And he tried to help. And because he thought that once Rune was gone, everything was lost. Like, that was it. But he had a little bit of hope before he died that maybe what he did would help out enough to help the world. And he dies with that knowledge. Rip to a real one.
Meanwhile, we have Warren and Trask, who's possessed by the Narcoblix, grappling each other.
They've just been duking it out, for 5 minutes.
No, seriously, just in the background, they've been there.
They've just
It's
been wrestling.
kind of funny.
It really is.
So Bracken runs to go help Warren, and he's like, he's a friend. Please
not
don't
kill
him. But Bracken's able to use his unicorn powers and force the Narcoblix out of Trask, which is nice. Nice power to have.
Indeed. Very handy when you have narcoblixes around, even those who are allegedly reformed.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I feel so bad for Trask. As soon as he gets out of his trance, he says, "Where are we? What have I done?"
It's always just like that moment whenever like a character is possessed, taken over, like
Not in control of themselves.
Not in control of themselves, when they have to come back into like possession,
into realization,
and just think, oh no. And I like that this implies that he doesn't quite, like, they don't have to watch themselves do this without, like, conscious, like they're not conscious realizing that and unable to control their body, I mean. Like, their minds are still asleep as they're being controlled.
Yeah, he's not, like, watching through his own eyes.
Yes.
Someone else control him.
Exactly. Like, silver linings there, but you still have to wake up, not know where you are, and just be like, oh no. Because, like, narcoblixes are low-key terrifying.
Yeah. They really are.
Yeah, and you could just, like, feel, like, the wretched, like, despair, like, what did I do? Like, please tell me I didn't kill anybody I love or harm us.
Yeah.
Like, irrevocably. Like, just please tell me that. Thankfully, as far as we know, Trask's main, I don't know what my word was going to say there.
I don't know.
His main effect here was just being present, and we can assume that the Sphinx sent Trask, as well as the second horn.
Yeah, he sent him knowing that Bracken could heal him.
With the second horn, yes. But I mean, what if there was also, maybe they also had him go to the Knights of the Dawn, because they have been suspiciously silent.
You know, that's a good point. They could have intended to send Trask as a decoy to, like, lure. Like, because he was a freaking lieutenant, so.
Maybe they just had him, like, send out a message, say, like, go to ground, don't do anything.
Yeah.
And that's why no other knights have come out of the
woodwork.
woodwork
Or they
to
could
help
use
out.
him to capture other ones, you know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things they could do with him.
Mm-hmm. Food for thought.
Indeed.
So, while Warren is kind of explaining to Trask what's all going on,
Yeah.
who this, like, really talented silver-haired guy is
Yeah,
behind him.
who this guy with a unicorn horn is.
Don't worry about him.
This is our friend.
This is our friend, the unicorn.
The unicorn. You know.
And while they're doing that, though, Bracken and Kendra are just catching up. Well, not catching up. They're really
Talking about the situation.
Because it has significantly worsened since in the past 5 minutes. And it's... yeah.
I was just about to say, mid-conversation, Bracken pushes Kendra out of the way and holds up a shield, and it's because Dorina is back.
The number of times...
with her arrows.
The number of times this woman has tried to kill Kendra.
By shooting her in the back with an arrow!
She is the epitome of a coward.
So many... She has a personal vendetta against Kendra. And has tried to kill her so many times.
And I really think it's just because she got that crush on the Sphinx.
It's insane.
She was so angry about the Sphinx being maybe not obsessed, but like because she was.
Also, she just hates Kendra.
She just hates Kendra. Like she probably got
yeah.
punished or just like demoted for the fact that Kendra escaped.
Yeah.
And just like, yeah, she probably just hates Kendra.
She just has a personal vendetta against her. So she tried to shoot her again, but then, you know, everyone else on her team is dead or gone, so she surrenders because Rax just shows up behind her and she's like, wait, no, I surrender.
The fact that he even, like, lands on top of the van, like, I'm just picturing, it's like Toothless on top of that big rock when he's, like, looking down at Hiccup, just, like, growling, and it's just like, yeah, at that point I'd throw away my bow too.
It's just intimidation factor. She's like, nope, never mind.
And Rax just thought he wasn't scary.
It's really funny. So, Bracken tells her, on your knees, you know, if you're gonna surrender. And he walks up to her and, well, there's a little bit of a devious plan.
It's so good. Because, like, keep in mind, at this point, we're in Kendra's POV.
Yeah.
Like, we're seeing all of this through her eyes, and in her brain, Tarina has always been a threat. Someone who can very quickly kill the people that she loves, either by bow and arrow or by sucking out somebody's life. She's watched her do both of those things. She shot Seth in the back, tried to shoot her,
Yep.
and has, like, drained somebody's life in front of her.
Yeah, she's seen both of them.
And so she's just like, she is taking this very, very seriously. She's like, Bracken, be careful. She can drain your life. And Bracken, so nonchalant, reaches Tarina and turns his head and looks back at Kendra. I've got it covered. She can't possibly... And at that moment, Tarina lunges forward, wraps herself around Bracken's torso, and sinks her teeth into his neck, causing him to go limp in her arms. And Kendra...
Poor Kendra. She starts to freak out, be like, no, 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 no,
justifiably.
no. Not my cute, hot unicorn boyfriend. Not boyfriend, maybe boyfriend.
Just crush. Not my cute boyfriend crush.
Who knows? But, Dorina starts to glow, and it intensifies until she literally, blows up.
She burst apart in a stunning surge of white flame. Very dramatic.
Kendra, all traumatized, runs to Bracken and is like,
she's in tears.
Are you okay? And he's like, I'm fine. Gives her a hug of reassurance.
And she's just like, not many, well, it says Vivablix, but we know it means Lectoblix.
Yeah.
Not many Lectoblixes get the chance to drain a unicorn. Those who do never get to warn the others. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Like, they don't understand. Like, they want something that's theoretically good for them. But all good things in moderation. This becomes bad.
Warren describes it pretty aptly. He says, kind of like filling a water balloon with a fire hose.
There's so much life inside of a unicorn that when Lectoblixes try to tap into it, it just completely overloads them.
Yeah.
So Warren's come over now with Trask, and he's like, hey, so... He's good, right? Like, this isn't just, like, a one-time exorcism. Like, this is gonna hold.
We don't have to worry about the narcoblix anymore.
And Bracken's like, nah, yeah, I got you.
Nope.
You're good.
Unicorns can heal that.
And Trask is just like, thank you. Sorry for anything I did.
Yeah. So they're like, so, what do we do now?
Well, first we gotta boost Raxus's confidence. Because there's always time for that. Rax is just like, okay, so I took out the fire drake, and it was easier than I thought.
He's like, yeah, maybe I'm actually better than I thought. And we're all like, yes, Raxus, you are.
Yeah, because apparently his scales are very similar to his father's in that they are impenetrable nearly. Mm-hmm. Like, the flames that the fire drake was spouting would barely tickle him, so even after his invisibility was jinxed, he was pretty much fine. He was taking care of business.
Yeah. And so Kendra is like, so what do we do now? And Bracken is like, well, you are done. I'm gonna send you to Wormroost with Raxus to go ask Agid for help. And Kendra's like, excuse me?
She's like, so where are you going? He's like, I'm going to Zizix. And she's like, great, let's go.
Great, I'm going with you. And then everyone starts trying to convince her not to go, and then she starts making some really good points of why she should. She's like, first of all, you might need me and my powers. Second of all, I'm not going to be safe anywhere if the Society opens Zizix.
She's like, hey, if a nuclear bomb drops, it doesn't matter if I'm at ground zero or 200 feet away. Like, yeah. I might as well be there.
I'd rather be with my friends and family. She's like, I'm not just some damsel in distress. This is the 21st century, brother. Like...
And Trask is kind of like, she is a full-fledged Knight of the Dawn. Like, she has some autonomy here. We gotta respect her wishes. And, to Bracken's credit, and I think this is where he really distinguishes himself from Gavin and how Gavin kind of treated Kendra in book 4.
Yeah.
Because Gavin always kind of treated Kendra like
an object.
Yeah, a battery to be preserved. Like, he would shove her into the knapsack whenever things got dicey. He would, like, cover her at Las Mesa.
He was protecting his asset.
Exactly. He protected her like an asset, whereas Bracken seems to actually be concerned for Kendra as a person.
Yep.
And so when she, as a person, expresses her opinions and feelings and desires, he respects them.
Mm-hmm. She's also
Be more like Bracken.
She's also like, well, I'm supposed to change the Astrids, and I can't find any of the Astrids. Like, I need to go with you guys to find them. And Bracken's like, that's kind of a good point.
And so Bracken eventually says, on top of that, Kendra will surely be an early target. She may as well stay with us. And Kendra just goes, good choice.
Yeah, she's like, if you were going to try and leave me, I was going to pull a Seth and just find my way to come with you.
Yes, so... And now Kendra's like, okay, so now that we've cleared up that little misunderstanding, how do we get there?
How do we get to Zizix? Bracken's like, let's find out what your brother's been up to, because that was his job.
Indeed. And he's been keeping it close to his chest, which I appreciate.
That moves us to chapter 25, Lady Luck.
Such a nice little alliteration there. Lady Luck.
Yeah. And back to Seth's point of view.
He's just chilling on a beach.
At the, what's it called?
Is it Rockaway?
Outer Banks.
Outer Banks, yes.
That's what it is.
Is it Rockaway Beach? Is that what it's called?
I don't remember.
Hatteras Island, that's what it's called.
Hatteras Island. So for those of you not from America, Outer Banks is, I guess it kind of says it here, it's a collection of islands off the coast of Virginia. It's technically, or North Carolina?
Yeah,
North Carolina. Oh, sorry. It said they'd flowed into Norfolk, Virginia. That's why I got confused. Mm-hmm. It's just off of the coast of North Carolina. To get there, you either have to take a ferry or there's like a bridge, isn't there? Or is it only by ferry?
No, you could drive. You could drive.
It's probably a terrifying bridge just over water.
Yeah.
To drive. I would not do that.
Mm-hmm. I think it's similar to like the Florida Keys, where like even though it's a bunch of islands, it's still connected by by the roads.
Very popular beach touristy place in the summer.
Yeah. So they're barrier islands off the coast of North Carolina, and they're on Hatteras Island, which is, I believe, one of the bigger ones.
No idea. I have not watched the TV show Outer Banks.
Nor I.
I know that's popular.
I have heard of that one.
It's on Netflix.
Huh. So they flew into Virginia from British Columbia. Yeah. Right? I think it is Seattle, yes. They did have to leave behind Newell, Doran, and Hugo to...
We were gonna see how long of the drive it would take.
Oh, yes, we did say that. We did want to do that because, yeah, like, they couldn't take a mound of dirt and 2 goats onto the flight with them, so they just kind of gave Newell and Doran the keys and said, do your best to get here in time, because they're on a bit of a time crunch. So basically, it takes 3 days for them to get to the Shoreless Isle, and Zizix can only be opened during a full moon or new moon? Full moon.
A full moon.
It is a full moon.
Yeah.
The full moon is less than 4 days away at this point. So Seth and Vanessa have done the calculations. They have to leave tonight. It is the absolute latest they can leave. If they leave the next day, it'll be
3 days.
It'll be too late. Yes, it's a 3-day voyage. And they need to get there with a couple of hours to spare. And they can only leave at like 3 a.m. in the morning, which is terrible, and I hate it. That would be the worst. But...
they left Newell, Doran, and Hugo the challenge to drive from British Columbia or like Seattle all the way to Outer Banks, North Carolina.
In 2 days.
In 2 days. And I just pulled it up on Google Maps.
Yes.
Seattle to Hatteras Island. It is just under 2 days. It is 1 day and 22 hours.
They be pushing it.
But that's going the speed limit, so... Which we know later in the chapter that they did not go the speed limit, so...
When we catch up with them, we'll go over what their journey looked like, but Seth
yeah,
is
that
just
was
feeling
their
a little
challenge.
stressed.
Yeah.
So their stress was to get there from Seattle. Kendra, Warren, and Bracken had to get there from Texas, which is probably like more like a day traveling nonstop.
Well, that's if they're not flying.
I think it says that they drive.
They drove, yeah.
I think it says they drove. Because, I mean, does Bracken have...
Yeah, that's gotta be just a day.
An ID?
Texas is huge.
Like,
that's true.
Like, Bracken doesn't really have any, like,
where
identification
was it, like,
papers.
Dallas or so? Austin?
I think it was Dallas.
Dallas. Texas.
But overall, Seth is just
21
stressed.
hours. That's...
A little less than a day.
Yeah, that's...
But I mean,
Not
with,
really
like,
bad.
sleeping... Because, I mean,
Well, they have...
does Bracken know how to drive a car?
Probably not. They have 2 people who could drive.
Does Kendra know how to drive a car?
I feel like Trask could do that almost
Tra-
all in one.
Yeah, I feel like Trask has just got
That
to
man
take
is
that
tough
one.
as nails.
Indeed. Probably feels like he's got to make up for some stuff, too. He's
Yeah.
also been under the control
I can
of a
also
narcoleptic,
imagine
so
Warren
he's
just
fresh.
wanting to speed the whole time.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Seth is just feeling a bit stressed because, like, both of the... Like, all of his allies need to get there by that night, or else he and Vanessa are going to Shortless Isle alone, which he's got a great sword, but would rather not do.
Also, it's up to him to make sure that they can actually get passage
Yeah.
on the Lady Luck,
Yes.
which is also stressing him out. It's kind of all up to him.
Yeah, so he finds himself reading the letter from Patton frequently, just to make sure he understands his duties. He gets the whistle, and the music box from Cormac, and then he is supposed to go to the top of the Cape Hatteras lighthouse and ring the bell at midnight. The ship will respond only if the bell is rung at midnight from this vicinity. He keeps going. They have a little bit of a hiccup where the actual lighthouse was moved, so they're trying to figure out how to deal with that.
Yeah, the like place where the lighthouse used to be was eroded too much, so they had to move it.
Yeah,
so they're like, how do we? I guess we have to do it in
where
both
do
places.
we ring the bell here?
Yeah.
But yeah. So after they ring the bell, though, he's supposed to go down after 100 minutes to the beach and blow the whistle 3 times every few minutes until the rowboat arrives. Everybody gets aboard. They are shuttled to the Lady Luck. And he is supposed to head aft to the captain's cabin, where he is to negotiate passage after playing the music box.
So he's just kind of reading that over, making sure that he understands it completely, because it's on him. While they're just sitting there on the beach, he hears a familiar voice, and it's Kendra running down the beach toward him.
Very emotional meeting here, because
Yeah.
last time Seth and Kendra saw each other, Seth was dying.
He literally was shish kebabbed.
He was shish kebabbed with an arrow, courtesy of Tarina. May she rest in not
Pieces.
peace. Well, pieces. Yeah, I'll take that one. May she rest in torment and chaos. I'll take that too.
She is the pieces.
And so they reunite over by Vanessa, who is just tanning on the beach, and basically just start catching up a little bit.
And then he reunites with everyone else. And then we have a little bit of a showdown going on. So, to set the scene, Bracken is a unicorn, obviously. Vanessa is a Blix. And unicorns and Blixes are sworn enemies.
They traditionally don't really get along.
To put it this way, unicorns are the only predators of Blixes.
Yeah, it kind of sours any relationship they could have.
So they immediately distrust each other completely.
Like, Bracken even walks up staring at Vanessa with his hand on his sword.
Okay? He literally says, "Hello, Seth. So this is your Blix."
And I really wish Vanessa had snapped back. So, Kendra, this is your pet pony?
Like, he's referring to her, like, as a thing, basically. No, he doesn't see her as a person, kind of.
So it's a little messed up.
Yeah,
Which,
this is
I will say, it's kind of needed for Bracken's character, because up until this point he's been very...
perfect.
Yes. And this gives him a little bit of a depth, I'll say. Some depth.
It gives him a flaw.
Gives
He's
him,
prejudiced against Blixes.
yeah, little speciesist.
But, like, he also has reason to be, so, like...
Yeah.
But against all Blixes
Yeah.
is the problem.
But yeah, so their back and forth goes for a bit. Like, Bracken extends his hand, saying, "Nice to meet you," and Vanessa just scowls at it, like, trying to read my mind. And Bracken, not even denying it, just goes, "Seems appropriate."
Yeah. And then Seth is trying to be like, she's been helping a lot, I could have done it without her. And then Bracken's like, well, then she shouldn't have any problem with me looking in her mind if she's got nothing to hide. And then Vanessa's like, so who's looking in your mind?
And it just keeps going back and forth. Like, Vanessa even ends up throwing out some shots like, well, my quest was successful. Whose wasn't? And Bracken just has to, like, lower his hand and just be like, okay, that's how it's gonna go? Because now she's throwing back, like, maybe if one of us is a spy from the society, maybe it's the one who failed to save any of the Eternals.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. And she's also like, well, maybe everyone here doesn't know, but unicorns hunt Blixes, and so they can understand why I'm hesitant to even talk to a unicorn, much less allow him to look into my mind, because I don't trust that he'll tell the truth.
Indeed. And this is when Bracken, like, he's just, like, he's kind of getting over this. He turns to Seth, he's like, we can start conversing more openly now. I've learned when to sense that Nagi Luna is looking at us. It required some practice. I'm accustomed to her mind reaching out to spy on me, but the extra subtlety and power granted by the Oculus confused me for a time. Regaining my horn helped. I only mastered what to look for as we undertook our recent road trip. I love this bit right here.
Oh.
Ever since Sivia was murdered by a Blix, he shot Vanessa a meaningful glance. Nagi Luna has essentially lost interest in us. She has only peered at us twice today, briefly and without concern.
Dang, Bracken. Murdered by a Blix.
Wink, wink, hint,
Looking at
hint.
you, Vanessa. The only Blix here.
And, like, Kendra's still trying to, like, de-escalate. She's like, well, Vanessa could have tried to steal Basilis. And Bracken's like, hardly. She's not that dumb. And Vanessa's just like, well, I'm very naive. Just, they're both just absolute... They're so petty. They're so petty.
It's actually, like, so funny because everyone else is trying to de-escalate the tensions and they're just going at each other.
They're just throwing fuel on the fire.
It's so funny. Oh. And so Bracken's like, so, why don't you just let me look in your mind?
And this is when Vanessa throws in the, why don't we judge you based on your success in protecting the Eternals? And so she starts throwing Bracken's credibility into question until finally Kendra's just like, Bracken's not a traitor. The Fairy Queen vouched for him. And even then Vanessa's like, to you personally? And Kendra's like, yes. And Vanessa's just like, dang it. You can tell she was hoping for something there.
And then Warren is like, whoa, okay, enough with the animosity. Isn't tonight gonna be long enough already? Please, Vanessa, just let him make sure. Think about your past. We'll all sleep easier.
And of course, interestingly, it's when Warren brings it up and puts it this way that Vanessa takes Bracken's hand. Food for thought. Mm-hmm. Which will be fed even more in a moment.
Yeah, so Bracken looks at her mind, kind of prompts her, and reads her thoughts, and when he's done, he says, she used to love the Sphinx.
And Vanessa is just immediately like, really? That's where we're going first.
Did I hear the past tense?
Like, her expression just hardens immediately. Like, you can tell she's like, oh, okay, so this is the angle he's going for.
Yeah.
But Bracken then continues to confirm, after he betrayed her, she became a true ally to us. She still worries about him. She cares about his welfare, now that Graulis has taken over, but she will not in any way harm our cause. But not in any way that would harm our cause. Like, she won't let her affection for the Sphinx overcome what she feels is now her duty. And then she throws in, her affection is now directed elsewhere.
And Vanessa's like, careful.
Like, warningly, like,
yeah,
you don't go there.
And then he goes there. Bracken glances at Warren. And then Seth is like, did he just look at Warren? Does Vanessa like Warren?
He's such a teenage boy. Like, maybe if it was just that, like, I feel like Kendra would have let it go. Trask is probably very uncomfortable at this point.
Trask is just, like, putting his hand on his face, trying not to listen.
The teenage boy has to be like, wait.
He's like, wait, this is the gossip.
Does she like him?
And then Warren coughed uncomfortably.
He's just like, oh my gosh.
Okay. He's like, I don't like this direction either.
And Vanessa just starts glaring at Bracken because she's like, okay, of course, very, very tactful. And she even throws in, Warren and I have some history from when I served as a Knight of the Dawn. I'm glad that's out in the open for everybody to whisper about.
And then she
decided, well, you're going to stab me, I'm going to stab you back.
She shoots right back. She says, by the way, Bracken clearly has strong feelings for Kendra. Sometimes it doesn't take a mind reader.
And now, 4 out of the 5 people here are very uncomfortable.
The way,
4 out of the 6.
Okay, I gotta say, it is kind of really impressive. She clocked Bracken and Kendra within like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
She hasn't seen them together before.
Literally, this is like their first 3 minutes of interaction. She already... Wow, you're right.
Literally, she's a good spy. I mean, she reads people for a living, so...
This is true. She has to imitate people.
She clocked it immediately, which is so funny.
And she just has Bracken completely speechless.
Yeah, opened his mouth, paused, and closed it.
Don't be shy, Vanessa teased, prodding his chest with her finger. It really is the end of the world. Time to unbottle those hidden feelings. People make such fuss about age discrepancies. Your attraction to Kendra is kind of like me having a crush on a newborn infant. Perfectly natural.
Bracken reddened. I think your imagination is running away with you. I'm very fond of Kendra, but not in the way you're describing.
And Vanessa refuses to let up.
Yeah.
You're right. My mistake. It isn't quite like I described. After all, Kendra looks much more mature than an infant.
Everyone is so uncomfortable at this point. And Trask is like, enough.
Let's done. We're done.
He's like, enough with the Blix unicorn rivalry. I'm afraid we have larger concerns.
But Vanessa can't resist one more dig. Seth has a letter from Patton Burgess outlining our present objectives, she said. I already have the key to the lighthouse. We Blixes have our uses. Oh my gosh!
Okay, we gotta unpack that. Vanessa clocked Bracken and Kendra. That's the first thing. Second thing, Vanessa and Warren have history. It's a very loaded word.
History
could mean a lot of different things.
Yes, because if we look back at the past 5 years that we know of Warren's life, do we know when he joined the Knights of the Dawn?
He was pretty young. I would say 18.
I would say probably about that age as well. He went into the coma around 2021, because we know he's like early 20s.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
He was he's described as being in his early 20s, I believe, in Rise of the Evening Star in Book 2 when we first meet him. And he's been in the coma for, correct me if I'm wrong, 2 years?
Something like that.
So probably, Warren probably had 2 to 3 years of active Knights of the Dawn.
Yeah.
Of Knights of the Dawn activity. Where he was an active Knights of the Dawn agent. I don't know.
Also mid-20s, early 20s?
I would guess.
Yeah.
Maybe a little, I don't know, probably about that
somewhere around
age.
there. So, history could mean 2 things. It could mean they have history working with each other as Knights of the Dawn.
Very interesting. I would love to see that battle couple.
Or, what I think it means, they have romantic history working together as Knights of the Dawn.
Yeah, and I was about to say, ¿por qué no los dos? Perhaps they would be paired up for missions, and during some of those pair-ups, sparks started flying.
You know, yeah.
More than just the explosions that inevitably followed their presence.
Stuff we're not going to discuss.
But boy, would I like to.
So, yeah. And it's very obvious. There's something there.
There may be something there that was there before.
It was there, and it's been brought back up.
Yes, because like when we were reading this, like in preparation, I saw this and I was like, oh yeah, there was the hinting there. So I, perhaps unwisely, decided to go perusing AO3. There's a good little gold nugget of Vanessa, I think is what's Vanora.
Probably
I don't know the ship name.
Vanessa.
Vanessa?
I don't know. I don't know their ship name.
There's a good little there's a word I'm looking for. There's a good little collection of Warren and Vanessa fanfics that I was able to peruse and enjoy thoroughly. It was just a fun little thing, like, just, like, the way that people think, like, how did Vanessa come to start being a knight after being in the society, what some of their missions might have been like, how they act together as a couple. Spoilers, there's a lot of snark and banter. It's very entertaining. There's some very talented authors who decided, hey, let's just make this relationship come a bit alive, and... yeah, I choose to believe that is endgame. Warren and Vanessa are endgame for me. If anybody's interested, I'm happy to drop a link to a few of my favorite ones. I've got a few bookmarked that I'm happy to send along.
We can put them in the description.
Yes, indeed. But yes. Warren, trying to avoid any further awkwardness.
He goes back to what his number one priority when they're not in danger.
Anybody know
food.
Anywhere you would know where we can score some quality crab cakes and stop talking about my love life?
Yeah, he's like, let's talk about food, why don't we?
So...
they presumably go get some food.
yes.
And then we go to Kendra chilling in the SUV with Trask. And she's kind of contemplating the awkwardness that was caused by that whole fiasco. And she's just kind of thinking about it, being like, ooh, that was all out in the open, and now it's awkward.
Like, just for several hours, they've all just had to be interacting with each other and just thinking, like, oh, that conversation.
She's like, she didn't really like that Vanessa pointed out, like, the age gap between Bracken and her, because that makes her feel like...
like, now
yeah,
she
like,
has
it's
to
not gonna,
acknowledge it.
like, pointing it out makes it...
She has
like,
to acknowledge it.
She has to acknowledge it, and makes her think it's not ever gonna happen, you know?
Mm-hmm. And she's also being plagued by all these questions, like, what if she's right? What if Bracken does like her? Because before, like, if Kendra just, like, has a little crush on him, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if he starts liking her back now, then it's like, oh, now
It makes it real.
We gotta do something with these feelings now.
Uh-huh. And she's like, I'm not ready for that. I'm too young. Like, I don't even know if we're gonna live through this.
Which honestly kind of helps out. Like, she's like, do I really need to worry about this right now when the end of the world is coming? Maybe we can put this on the back burner for now.
Yeah.
And
then she also thinks about, like, how human Bracken seems all the time. Like, there are times where he feels otherworldly, like when he got his second horn back, but at other times, you know, he's just joking around with Warren and Kendra and, like, Raxus. Like, he feels so real and normal. And so she has a hard time coming to terms with that, with his reality of being an immortal being.
Mm-hmm. So, sorry, go for it.
Sorry. And this is a part where I'm like, it would have been so much better if she were 18.
Yeah.
It's something that, okay, we talk about this sometimes already on with Brandon Mull's books. When it comes to stuff with, like, relationships, whenever he wants to do it, I just wish he would age up his characters.
Yeah.
At least, like, 2 years from what they already are. Because Kendra being 16 and Seth being, like, 13 in this, I'm like... especially once we get to Dragon Watch. Like, even if she was 18, she's still pretty young to have, like, a serious boyfriend, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, a serious boyfriend who's, like, an immortal being. So it would still make sense for her to, like, not be with him yet. So that's why I'm like, I wish... it could have been where she was, like, 18. I don't think it would have changed that much, honestly.
I feel like it also would have felt a little bit more... I don't know. I feel like her, like, thought process here, it's almost too mature for, I feel like, where she'd be at, like, as a 16-year-old. It's towing the line.
Yeah.
But it would have felt
a lot of 16-year-olds are a lot less mature. Not that... like, Kendra has always been more mature.
Yes, and that's for sure. And, like,
but
trauma will age you very quickly.
Yeah.
And she's been through a lot of that.
She's been through a crap ton. But also, like, for Seth, I also wish he was, like, 15 instead of 13.
Yeah.
Or, like, 14. I don't know. That's just one of my...
He turns 14 soon, right? Isn't he close to being 14?
I don't know. I still haven't figured out when his birthday is. Someone left a comment recently.
Because Kendra's is, like, October, right?
October or September. Yeah.
Because they have, like, her
So
birthday
she's
party,
like
2 months
16 and a
early.
half.
Yeah. Okay, that's not bad. Are we sure she's not 15 and a half?
Is she only 15 and a half? Crap, she might be. Book 1, she's 13. Book 2, she's 14. she is only
Crap.
Sorry.
You're fine. That was, yeah. I'm sorry to make you think of that.
That bugs me even more now.
Yeah. I feel like we should just move on so we don't keep getting bugged.
Okay, whatever.
We have feelings. You guys know our feelings.
While she's having this little turmoil in her brain,
Trask just wants a
Trask
pretzel.
is like, "Can I have a pretzel?"
He just
and
wants
she's
some
just like,
pretzels.
"Oh, what? Yeah, you can have a pretzel." Kind of taken out of her thoughts. This is kind of funny.
They cover some of the logistics, like what are they gonna do with the car, like she's asked him like about her parents and grandparents because at one point they were all imprisoned at Living Mirage at the same time. Mm-hmm. But Trask can't remember anything. They were all separated, and so even Vanessa has been trying to check in with the people that she's bitten. She bit Tanu and some of the others, so she was checking in, but they're all locked up day and night in separate cells so that there's nothing that they can learn besides the fact that they're in a dungeon.
Yep.
And it sucks.
And while they're sitting there in the SUV, they see a truck blast by, turn around, and come back. And it is the Satyrs and Hugo.
And I just find it funny, like just I'm picturing the truck blasting by, then the headlights turn on as they do a hard brake, U-turn, and then zoom back. Because, as you could probably imagine, Hugo's just like, Kendra, back there.
Yeah, they're following Hugo's senses.
And so, Doran is just like, we're 2 hours early.
They're like,
so
we made it with 2 hours to spare.
So it took them almost exactly a day and 22 hours.
I guess he looked it up. And was like, is this possible? Yup, it's possible.
Let's do it. So Newell is just laughing because apparently they rarely went less than twice the speed limit.
Okay. So if you're going on a highway, if it's like a 2-lane highway, I can imagine
65?
the speed limit being like 55, 65.
So they're probably going anywhere between 100 and 130 miles an hour at any time.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. They were probably always going over 100.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Which is insane.
Newell's just like, that truck can move. Kotorin, it was exhilarating.
And then Kendra's like, did you hit any speed traps? And they're like, twice. We pulled over politely. Both times, the officer looked shocked to find a goat at the wheel without a human in sight. They searched the car both times, and we just pricked them with one of Vanessa's darts, and they fell right asleep.
And it was just like, they were just so efficient with it. They would change the plates, zoom off, and never had any trouble besides that.
Yeah.
And Trask is like, yeah, we did some speeding too. But not that bad.
Yeah, not as bad as you guys.
But so Kendra finally gets to catch up now as well. She's just like, so you guys are really coming to Zizix with us. And Doran's just like, we came this far. And that alone was huge character growth.
Yeah. And then Noel keeps it real and he's like, well, Seth also promised us our own flat screen with the generator. Besides, having front row seats to the end of the world beats waiting for disaster back at Fablehaven with the centaurs in charge.
The fact that they're like, yeah, going to face a bunch of demons is better than living around centaurs.
True.
That's a lot.
That's
true.
true. A lot. They choose the demons over the centaurs.
Demons and a flat screen if they live, to be fair.
Yeah.
But still. Doran is just like, though, but he's like, don't worry, we got a shot. Like, you've not seen Seth use that sword yet. Like, we're good to go.
And Noel's like, also we have a unicorn, so I mean,
it's basically like having Superman on our side.
yeah. And then Trask is like, don't get any false confidence here. It's gonna be dicey.
And the fact that Newell and Doran understand that, like, they're not expecting them to win. They're like, no, we get it. We're good that we're probably about to die. But if it's the end, so it goes. We had a good run. But can't we hope for the best? Trask shrugged. I suppose we can hope.
Trask is like, I go in with low expectations and then
Expect disappointment.
work with it. He'll never be disappointed.
Like, he'd probably, like, die with a sword in his gut being like, I knew it. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I know. Trask is the most, like, realistic, like, not getting overexcited or, like, anything kind of person.
It's him and Coulter. Like, I can see Trask in, like, 30 years
Wait,
being
that's
like...
kind of true.
It's like him and Coulter would just be like, oh, we're so done with all this crap.
And we go over to Seth and company doing their thing with the bells and whistles and whatnot.
Bells and whistles. That was funny.
Yeah.
Very funny. I like it.
So they have to do it from the place where the lighthouse now is, and then they drop it down to Warren and Bracken, I think, and they go to do it at the place where the lighthouse used to be.
So Seth rings the bell, drops it down to Warren and Bracken, who read it to the previous location. And Seth and Vanessa descend from the steps of the lighthouse where they had rung, where they had taken their turn. As they're coming out, Seth is startled by a large humanoid shake charging out of the darkness towards them. And once he finishes panicking, he realizes that it's Hugo.
And he's like, "Oh, you guys made it!" And then Hugo says, "Drove fast."
Which is probably an understatement.
Yeah. And then Vanessa's like, did the truck arrive in one piece?" And Hugo's like, "Truck fine."
All good. But yes. So Newell and Dora make it over. Seth is excited because, okay, everybody made it. We're good to go. We still got an hour or two.
We started the process of calling the boat.
Everything is on schedule.
Yeah.
So Seth is like, I can't believe you made it. I expected you'd take your time running up the credit card at fast food joints. And Newell's like, yeah, that wouldn't have been a bad idea.
But after enough fast food, it all starts to taste the same. Good, but greasy, Dorn said. Besides, driving fast is another new pleasure we both enjoy. So they're just finding another thing to be addicted to.
Yep, indeed. So Seth is, like, trying to be honest, though. He's like, we still might come back from this. We still might not come back from this. You don't have to come. Like, great, thanks for bringing Hugo, but...
Newell was like, we know. Why is everyone trying to tell us...
to get away? Like,
tell us to not come.
Like, it almost makes you think like you're planning a surprise party and don't want us to come along.
He's like, if I didn't know better, I thought you guys would be trying to ditch us.
Indeed. Here's the thing, though. If we succeed, we don't just save the world. We save television. We save fast food. Good, but greasy. We save soft drinks and donuts and candy bars and ice cream.
We save Frito-Lay, Dorn said solemnly. You've enjoyed a lifetime of these marvelous conveniences, Newell accused. You take them for granted, Dorn. You take them for granted. Dorn and I are just getting introduced.
Honestly, if I think about it, Frito-Lay, like, that's a huge, like, that's Lay's, that's Doritos, that's Cheetos, that's Fritos.
It's the chips.
It's all the chips.
Nobody is gonna mess with Hostess, Dorn said. Not on my watch.
No, you gotta get those ding-dongs. Those zebra cakes.
So funny. And then Vanessa's like, Hugo could be a bit of a problem.
When it comes to getting inside of a boat.
Like, I think we might need a bigger boat. You're gonna need a bigger boat.
We're going to need a bigger boat!
I think you're gonna need a bigger boat.
You're gonna need a bigger boat. Are you quoting Dropout?
No!
What are you quoting?
I'm quoting Jaws!
I've never seen Jaws.
I just saw it this year. It was the 50th anniversary, actually. It was in theaters.
I was quoting...
Also, that quote is definitely Jaws.
I know, but I was quoting Treasure Planet.
Okay, well, Jaws supersedes Treasure Planet.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's a Steven Spielberg classic. So.
I know.
The satyrs are like, yeah, I would like to bring Hugo along, so we're gonna go steal a boat.
And so they literally just go and hijack a speedboat in order to meet them at the Lady Luck, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah.
Kendra runs over as the satyrs drive away in the truck with Hugo, and Kendra's just like, so are we good? And Seth's like, yep, we good. Awesome. Want a pretzel?
She's like, everyone wants a pretzel, right?
Everybody wants a pretzel. And so Kendra and Seth now get to have a little conversation, which I think is very, very needed.
Yeah. Kendra says, do you get the sense that this is our last adventure?
Seth rubbed the hilt of Vasilis. Yeah. You too?
She nodded. It's sort of obvious since we haven't even prepared a way back. We couldn't stop any of this when we had a chance. And we had lots of chances. The artifacts, the Eternals. Now we're out of chances. I guess going to Zizix is better than nothing. It'll be better to die bravely among friends than to die in hiding. And they're both like, you don't have to go. Well, you don't have to go either. Like, they're like, oh, I kind of have to go. I have Vasilis. Well, I kind of have to go. I have to help with the Astrids, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. But they also talk about, like, some of the things they're nervous about. Like, Seth even says, if I'm going to die, I'll die fighting demons, not running from them. It helps to imagine what Patton would do. It helps to think of Coulter. I'm going to, Kendra said. Her lip trembled. I wish I could say goodbye to Mom and Dad.
And then Seth is like, don't think like that. Think about winning. Think about protecting the world.
His sister managed a faint smile. I'll try. Good, such a good little conversation.
That was a good little conversation, yeah. I really
It wasn't too
that.
long, wasn't too short.
Yeah.
They both addressed some of their fears. And again, we see Seth now being able to be brave for Kendra.
Mm-hmm. So they all get in the car and go to the place on Patton's map where they're supposed to, like, wait for the Lady Luck.
I think it's supposed to be, like, the easternmost point of the island.
Something like that. That would make sense.
So.
It's funny. Seth notices Bracken sitting down beside Kendra, and he's like, well, time to eavesdrop.
I mean, this is the end of the world, but he's still a little brother.
He's still a little brother. And so he hears them talking, and he hears Bracken say, I'm sorry about Vanessa earlier. She was trying to lash out at me for embarrassing her. Don't worry, Kendra said. I get it. Bracken took Kendra's hand, regarding her intently. Vanessa wasn't wrong. Seth knew it was time to stop listening.
He's still a little brother, but he's also a teenage boy.
He's also like, yep, I've heard enough.
Cooties.
I've got enough ammunition. Now it's time to back away.
He's like, I heard what I needed to hear. Move it away.
Now it's time to give them a brassy.
Back it up, back it up, back it up.
So he puts his hands in his pockets and starts walking along the beach, thinking about stuff. He's dwelling upon how Kendra had said this about maybe being their last adventure, and he's thinking maybe she was right. Yeah.
Like, for them, this feels like an unwinnable fight.
Well, the fact that they were talking like, the fact that we don't have a way off of Zizix kind of makes you think we're gonna die there. Mm-hmm. So
indeed,
that's what they're talking about. Yeah. And he kind of contemplates some of the past, like he's thinking about Vasilis and how it'll be helpful, and then he's thinking about the power of Bahamut and Olak the Glutton and all these demons and Growlithe and all these demons that they've encountered before, and those are just like one-offs basically. Mm-hmm. And thinking about how powerful a whole demon horde in the prison could be. And while he's kind of lost in his thoughts, he hears a voice behind him say, "Strange time to roam this beach." And he turns around and sees a grayish man with a bristly beard, wearing a hooded slicker and sturdy boots. And then Seth's like, I'm here with some friends. So I noticed, the man said, staring out to sea. Word to the wise, this beach may be getting some unsavory visitors shortly. Seth realizes this is no ordinary man. He kind of clocks that it is some sort of ghostly apparition or something. Mm-hmm. And he says, I know, I called them. Sure you want to be doing that? I need to get somewhere. The man turned his head and looked at Seth. There are plenty of ways to get around. Not where we're going, Seth explained. We have to go to Shoreless Isle. Some demons are going to open Zizix. The man looked back out the water. Can't say I know much about that. Sounds like you have your reasons. Watch yourself about negotiating passage. She can be unreasonable. And basically this ghost is giving him some advice. He's like, when you get on the Lady Luck, remember your sword. The spirit of the Lady Luck, she can be temperamental. She only has respect for those more powerful than her. So, if you can avoid Lady Luck, do it. But if you can't, just remember that. Mm-hmm. And then Bracken comes down jogging the beach. And then Seth takes a step toward him, waves at him, and then he looks back, and the grayish man is gone.
And Bracken's like, you good? And Seth's like, you could see him too, right?
Bracken's like, yeah, I kind of sensed him. He's not malicious, just
A guardian?
a guardian spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And then Seth's like, yeah, he gave me some advice. And Bracken's like, I really hope you listened. And he's like, yeah, I did.
Yeah. And some little side note from here. We actually went to a convention where Brandon Mull was speaking about some of his, like, where he gets his ideas for, like, books and stuff, like, how he pulls it from the outside worlds, like, brownies, centaurs, satyrs.
Yeah.
All of these things come from mythologies around the world.
And he was talking about when he actually went to the Outer Banks for, like, research for this book.
Actually, I think it was one of his book visits.
Or probably one of his book visits.
He was doing a book tour, yes.
And he was at, like, a school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, I'm looking at the text I sent to you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, basically what I have notes from that panel was that he said, it came from one of his visits to the Outer Banks in North Carolina. Everyone there believes in ghosts. He's like, it's not like it's not an if, it's a, like, you do. If you live there, you believe in ghosts.
I remember he said that, like, he was, like, talking to, like, a group of kids at a school, and he asked, like, so who here believes in ghosts? And every single kid raised their hands.
Yep, exactly. And so he would, like, hear all these ghost stories from, like, the people he would stay with or, like, talk to, like, the kids as well. And apparently, a gray benevolent ghost is a prominent feature in some of those in a lot
Outer
of
Banks.
those in the Outer Banks, in those ghost stories. And so when he's telling this story, and he's deciding to have the launching point for the Lady Luck be the Outer Banks,
he decides to put in this local folklore, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
A little behind the scenes. Back to Bracken and Seth. Seth decides to change the subject. And he's like, I saw you chatting with my sister.
What are your intentions, sir?
What are your intentions toward my sister, good sir?
Bracken just said, Vanessa made things uncomfortable. Some words needed to be exchanged. And Seth's just grinning like,
he's like, yeah, I know what you mean.
So they get back to the beach. They're all sitting in silence, waiting for the time to blow the whistle to call the rowboats for them to get to the Lady Luck. Kendra leans her head on Bracken's shoulder. Trask and Vanessa are dozing. And finally, Bracken says it's time. So he gets up, does 3 long calls with the whistle. 2 minutes later, he does it again. 2 minutes later, he does it again.
Yeah, he has to do it like every 2 minutes until the boat shows up.
Yep.
And it finally does. And they get everyone up. And they're also just kind of like, okay, are the satyrs here? And Hugo, are they going to make it?
Yeah, Seth is just like watching the beach, hoping to see them appear somewhere.
So the ghostly rowboat comes and they all get in it.
Seth describes the crewmen as somewhere in between zombies and wraiths. Not as dark or graceful as wraiths, but also with more agility and competence than zombies.
He's had a lot of experience with zombies and wraiths recently, so...
Yes, he's a very good judge.
He's a lot to go off of.
Indeed. So they managed to get to they get into the rowboat, still scanning for Hugo and Newland Doran. They finally start to approach the Lady Luck, and it is a very impressive vessel.
It's interesting because it says that Seth listened carefully to the undead sailors, but as with the standing dead, he detected no thoughts. He tried to start conversations mentally, but sensed no response, which I think is interesting. That they're like he can't communicate with them as he does like other things with his shadow charmeriness.
With his shadow charm.
With his shadow charm. Yeah.
Okay. So, but yeah, they get to the Lady Luck, and this is a 3-masted vessel with complex rigging, but no sails. There are decks of different heights, bordered by ornate railings. The ship looked old, but not rotten. An elaborately carved mermaid figurehead hung at the front, face panicked, arms chained to her sides. Lovely visual there.
They get to a ladder, and everyone starts slowly going up the ladder until it's just Seth and Bracken, and Seth's trying to, like, kind of take his time.
Dilly-dally's like,
waiting
come
for the
on.
satyrs.
And then they hear the buzz of a motor.
Yep.
And see a motorboat approaching.
He's like, okay, my friends are coming. Please let them on. So he starts going up the ladder, and Noel, Doran, and Hugo make it there just in time to board.
Mm-hmm. Hugo nearly swamps the entire ship, but manages to get to the top. Yeah, the rowboat, but manages to get on top of the Lady Luck without too many issues. So Seth goes alone into the captain's cabin at the back, while the group of the...
While the rest of his friends are waiting.
They're all just in a group, kind of surrounded by deckhands.
Surrounded by undead sailors.
Yeah, so they haven't moved yet. They haven't made any...
ghost ship.
But they are slightly antagonistic. They're threatening with their posture, like,
yeah,
you better get that passage, otherwise...
Goodbye. Yep.
So Seth goes into the captain's cabin, puts the music box, the third item, on the ground, and lets it start playing. And immediately, the air in the cabin begins to swirl, the temperature plunges, and the door banged shut.
Ooh.
Solid, like, haunted house, like, effects right there.
Yeah. So Seth says that the room appeared to be empty, but he can feel a presence. Also, I like how presence is capitalized.
I do like that a lot. Yeah, so Seth knows, it says basically, he saw no personage, but Seth knew he was no longer alone. An inexplicable presence with a capital P had joined him. Capital P presence.
Why have you imposed upon me? Inquired a girlish voice in his mind. Although she sounded childlike, Seth intuited that the speaker was ancient.
I feel like that's usually the case with these things. Like, yeah, they'll sound young, but he's like, yeah, you're probably like in your 8,000.
So Seth is like, I need to read Shoreless Isle. This is the only way that I knew how to get there.
Yeah, and they go back and forth for a little bit. The main problem that the girl has is with the unicorn and the golem.
Like, big problem.
Like, even when she says, like, this is unacceptable, I will not go to the Shoreless Isle, you and your friends will join my crew. Except for the golem and the unicorn. They're going...
Throw them overboard!
They're going in the drink!
Just like, oh my gosh.
Get them for some cement shoes.
She has something against unicorns and golems.
Yeah. And Seth's just like, nope, that's not happening.
Yeah, she's basically like, you will take me and my friends to the Shoreless Isle. And she's like, nope, I will not be doing that.
She's like, I will not bargain with you. You do not belong here. Go away. Deliver my verdict to your friends. I did what was promised. I heeded the summons. But that is not a guarantee that I will take you where you want to go.
And Seth
and that just makes me want to know how Patton got her to agree. But continuing on.
That's actually a good question. And Seth is like, literally thinking, I can't let this fail. This is all on me. This has to work. So he draws Vasilis, and the power of Vasilis goes inside him, warms him up, and confidence grows inside of him.
And more than that, it's the warm comfort of rage.
Yeah. Confidence crowded out his doubts and his fears, and he felt shame of how he had been cowering. His friends were counting on him. The sword flared red, brightening the room and revealing a faint form in the corner.
There was a personage.
Yeah. It looked like a sparse cloud of dust motes in the air in the shape of a woman with long hair. Vasilis tugged him toward the hazy entity. Enough nonsense, Seth commanded, resisting the eager pull of his sword. I've been through too much to argue with a 1,000-year-old child. My friends and I go to our deaths. You are merely the ride. I summoned you politely. You will provide us with safe passage, or your existence will end as I carve your ship into matchsticks and your crew into fish bait. After his little outburst, there is silence.
His spiel.
Yes. And then the presence says, my apologies, came the timid response.
And, like, it's not even, like, respectful. It's, like, scared.
Yeah. All malice gone, is what it says. You carried yourself like a fraud at first. You are cruel to tease us so. Cause us no harm. I hereby grant you and your companions passage to Shoreless Isle.
And Seth, knowing that he's not going to leave any room for mess-ups or, like, creative interpretations.
Yeah.
You have 3 days. We need to be ashore well before sunrise.
As you say, great one. A little bit of change.
A part of me wonders, honestly, just like, especially with the way, like, she's changing, like, being an undead, like, if this almost, like, brings Seth's full potential as a shadow charmer to the surface. Do you know what I mean?
Great one.
Like,
yeah.
I can see it.
And Seth turned to go. I'd prefer if this were the last time we have to speak.
With no disrespect intended, I would prefer the same.
Yep. That's the end of the chapter.
A very fun one.
Yeah, good one. Alright, so...
Last chapter.
They've been on the ghost ship for a few days. That's fun.
Yes. Seth's role of intimidation worked splendidly.
Worked very well.
He definitely rolled a nat 20 on that one, and so they have been making it through towards the Shoreless Isle with a steady pace, and we have fast-forwarded 3 days, and nothing really notable has happened. They've been sleeping.
Just sailing.
They're just sailing, and they do bring up the fact that they have conspicuously only brought enough food for another day or two, because they're like, either we live and we can figure something, like, either we die here, or...
We live and we become fishermen, or we die and it doesn't matter.
Like, we're not really planning beyond this point right now. We're just...
It's funny.
Yeah. But, yeah, so... They are currently on the last day, so it's like maybe an hour or so before sunrise. Well, maybe a little bit more than that.
Probably a little bit. Probably, yeah.
A few hours before sunrise, because that's when the demon prison is set to open. Mm-hmm. And they're just they're all up, moving around, getting their equipment ready, getting ready to disembark.
Land, basically. Mm-hmm. Or, well, I guess where the ship drops them off is kind of, it's like cliffs, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's
like,
a reason it's called the Shoreless Isle.
Yeah, that's true. There is no shore. So yeah, Hugo has to take them up and down. Take them up, and then come back down for more people.
But before that, we have Seth being Seth. He can't be a absolute...
He can't resist himself.
He can't resist himself when it comes to teasing Kendra about a boy. Like, yes, he's a lot more mature and cooler now, and he can...
But he's also 13.
But he's also 13. Like... He intimidates ghosts, he teases his sister. It's what he does.
It's balance.
It's a balance, a delicate balance. So Seth asks, have you smooched Bracken yet? No, sicko, Kendra replied with annoyance. That's none of your business. You've been pretty cuddly, he observed. He's just keeping me warm. He's trying to comfort me. Like, that sounds like cuddling.
And he might need a little comfort. I know what might give him some extra courage, Seth said, puckering his lips. Don't be an idiot, Kendra said.
He's a 13-year-old boy. I'm pretty sure that's just, it comes with the territory.
It's just a wall of mist in all the directions they can see.
They finally
Kendra can see a little further, but...
So yeah, Bracken comes up and starts talking to them as well, but he mentions that Nagi Luna is a lot more interested in them now that they've boarded the ship. Like, at that point, she's like, wait, they're actually gonna be here. Now I should probably pay attention to them. Mm-hmm. Whereas before, it was like, we killed all the Eternals. Seth is probably crippled with his anxiety and self-loathing. Like, she figured that pretty much all of the pieces were off the board. Yeah. But as soon as they got onto the ship, she's like, okay, maybe I need to...
So they're coming here, basically.
She still doesn't think there's anything they can do, but...
Yeah.
It's basically like, I'll still keep an eye on them.
It's interesting. Bracken mentions that, like, there's, like, the jagged rocks around the ship, and that there are undead guardians on the rocks, too. So, yeah, really the only way you can, like, safely get there is by, like, flying or on this ship, because no one else knows the safe way.
I don't know if there is any other safe way.
Or maybe because it's a ghost ship, it goes right through. I guess I don't really know, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, it mentions, like, there are beasts in the water which keep away from the ship, probably because it has, like, an undead presence.
Yeah, that's true. It's like...
They're passing a whirlpool as well, but the Lady Luck is able to sail right past. I mean, there's probably something to be incorporeal.
Yeah.
Corporeal? how do you say that word? Incorporeal?
Incorporeal.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought that's what it was, but it
Yeah.
sounded weird coming out of my mouth.
It's a weird word.
Indeed. So they finally, the Lady Luck slows to a halt, and they're like, well, it's time to get off. They get 2 rowboats this time, one for Hugo, one for everybody else. They even brought Hugo a boat, Seth said. These zombie pirates think of everything, Warren said. I'm going to recommend Lady Luck to my friends.
He's like, I'm going to leave a Google review for you guys.
4.5 stars on Yelp. One of the Von Zombies kept giving me a weird look.
Everyone goes onto one rowboat, and Hugo starts
On the
taking
other one.
them up on the cliffs.
So once they finally get through, because like even it mentions like the water is very volatile. The smaller boat is not having like the same protections it seems as the Lady Luck did. It's moving a lot more. The nice thing is though that they have undead oarsmen to get them in,
Steady
so they're
the boat.
able to get him in. And literally, Hugo gets you're right. Hugo gets out of the boat, and basically as the water level in this cove without a shore, again shoreless isle. As the water level rises, you basically have to jump to Hugo, or at least be guided to his hand, and then he just lifts you up and puts you up the slope. Mm-hmm. So, it definitely is giving, like, I don't know what it is, like, I've definitely seen, like, examples of this, where you just had to, like, kind of, like, as the water came up, you just have to time it right and just jump off at the perfect time in order to make it to a dock.
Yeah.
Do I have an exact example of it currently? No. It's probably just a random video I saw on YouTube.
Probably. Bracken uses a little bit of his powers and makes like a light ball to light the way. Because this is the middle of the night still, technically. So it's dark.
And we have Bracken's second horned again, so might as well flex his...
Yeah.
Flex
He's
his
got his
magic
powers.
muscles again. They're starting to walk through across this island.
There's like a time-worn statue of a lion and stuff. There's like some ruins.
There's some ruins, pillars, other statues. They're supposed to, like, apparently it looks very graceful. And Seth is just like, well, picnic time.
It makes me... I've never actually thought about what the ruins are of.
I was thinking about that.
You know?
Like, was there some kind of civilization here before?
Was it something related to, like, to the demons? Or it's probably not. Probably more akin to, like, fairy dumb or something. Or maybe the fair folk?
Fair folk I can see.
I don't know.
Like, if I'm thinking about it, it would almost make sense for it to be a shrine to demon kind, honestly.
Could be.
Like, this is where people would come to, like, offer tribute and say, hey, please don't eat us today. I can see that, honestly.
I'm just trying to think, because, like, they talk about the shrine to the Fairy Queen being built on the island for the purpose of being there for, like, when the prison opens.
Yeah, like a last line defense.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think if it's, like, almost like it was built to watch over the prison or something, or was used, I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, at that point, I would assume they would want, like, nobody staying near the island.
But yeah, maybe.
Like, they cut off pretty much any contact. Like,
That's true.
It's implied, like, the whirlpool, the beasts, the undead, all around are there, placed probably by Agate and Morrisont and the other wizards to deter people from this island.
And the fact that it's shoreless makes you think that it was shaped that way by the wizards. It'd be pretty convenient to have just, like, a random island of the Bermuda Triangle that just happens to not have a shore. I don't know. Yeah. But maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows? I just find it interesting that there are ruins.
No, yeah, I agree. Like, what's the history there?
Yeah.
Like, who was here before the demon prison? Was it there? Like, because I mean...
Was it there at the beginning? Was it there before? Does it predate? Yeah.
Because, I mean, based on what we know of, like, the 5 monarchs, they each kind of have their own, like, realm, kind of.
True.
Like, there's the fairy realm, there's the demon prison. I guess the dragons don't really have their own realm. I guess maybe Earth is kind of their realm.
Point of Dragon Watch.
Earth is kind of their realm. And then the dragon, the
Under
giants,
King.
The Under King has his own, and the giants kind of also have their own.
Yeah, they have a preserve.
Oh, yeah, they do have it preserved, not necessarily their own realm, though.
Well, no, they do. I mean, we're getting into the spoiler territory here.
Yeah, a little
so
bit.
Let's not get too specific, but...
They all had their own territory, so I'm wondering
if you know,
like,
you know.
if the demon prison was initially their territory that they just put a lock on, or
I'm not sure.
if they created it as, like, an extra pocket
You know,
dimension.
that's a good question. I feel like...
Because, like, we know that technology exists.
I feel like it wasn't their domain to begin with.
They were forced into it, you think?
I think so. Because the
I can
prison.
see that. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tricky one. I mean, because we do know that, like, the technology, the ability to create, like, extra dimensional spaces exists.
But also, like,
They just did that on a huge scale. And
the demon prison was created so long ago that I feel like before then the demons just were out and about. I don't know.
Kind of like dragons.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I buy that.
I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, they stopped for a picnic with their remaining
nuts, jerky,
hiker
crackers,
food.
and dried fruit.
Yeah. Warren makes a pretty good joke here. They're like talking and kind of like how, you know.
Well, they're very solemn and just
they're
feeling the weight of like, we could all die in the next 4 hours.
You know. So like, what are you supposed to say to that?
Yeah. But as they're like packing up and getting ready to head over to the shrine, Warren's just like, you realize we now have to live through this, right? There's no way my last meal is going to be hiker food.
Yeah. And then only like Seth, Newell, and Doran laugh.
Not even Seth, just Newell and Doran.
Yeah. And then Newell and Doran are like, come on, people, Warren made a joke. Let's not be solemnly going to our deaths.
Like, come on, we gotta, like, we can't just, we're not, like, going to our funerals, we're not going to our, like, an execution.
Yeah.
Let's try to liven the mood a little bit.
Let's try to have a little bit of, I don't know, spark or hope or something.
It's like Bodwin the Bold, Doran agreed cheerfully. He faced his executioners with a smile on his face and tipped the headsman.
And then Seth is like, you know, I like that. I'm going to smile at the demons. I really will. You watch me.
You know what? I'm going to do it. Just watch. I'll do it. And then Kendra's just like, well, Ellie, I mean, I'm glad we're off the undead ship. If we're looking for a bright side, that sucked. It's a tropical island. Like, it could be worse.
And Vanessa's like, I kind of like Warren's plan to not die. Die on a tropical island sounds good, but let's not die.
The fact that even Vanessa afterward says, any of you have last messages you want me to deliver? She's like, do you want me to just possess anybody randomly? Just to, like, pass along any last thoughts?
And then Trast's like, you're all nuts.
And then, I love this one. Warren, yes.
This beats letting it gnaw at us. I bet I'll be the last one standing.
Seth is like, you wish. And then, showing some growth here, Seth does not say, I'm going to be the last one. He says, no, it's going to be Bracken. Interesting.
And I bet he takes some demons with him.
Some humility from Seth there.
True. I bet he takes some demons with him, and I won't, Warren exclaimed.
I love Warren so much. He is so very needed here.
Maybe a little one, Seth laughed.
Oh my gosh, this is great. Bracken then comes in, like the true humble king. He's like, I'm going to be honest, Seth's blade is the best. My horn's pretty good. Warren has the adamant, and that should do pretty well. The gray assassin blades. Let's make sure we get Vanessa one of those.
Yeah, he's like, I guess we'll give Vanessa one of the gray assassin's blades. I saw when I looked into her mind and told everyone that she liked Warren, but I also saw that she's pretty
decent
good with the sword, so...
You know what probably killed him to say that, though.
Yeah, he's like, I guess I'll give the Blix a point for that one.
And then he also plays into the fun.
Yeah.
My money is on Hugo for the last one standing. And then, to bring
Hugo.
it back... No, the golem rumbled. Not last. Hugo saved Seth. Hugo saved Kendra. Tears stung Kendra's eyes.
Tearing up, and then Newell raised his hand.
Probably one of the best jokes in the entire series.
Newell raised his hand. How do I get added to that list? This time, everyone laughed, even the golem, stony shoulders shaking.
And that was so freaking...
And that released the tension. Thank you, Warren, Newell, and Doran.
I feel like that could be like a band.
Okay.
Warren, Newell, and Doran, everybody. Give her a hand.
Warren
Give
and the
him a hand.
Satyrs.
Warren Warren and the Satyrs.
The satirical... I think you do something like satirical.
The satirical Burgess?
The satirical... the satirical... I don't know.
Satirical posse?
Satirical singers.
Satirical trio?
Satirical... Singers, satirical...
Well, I feel like they'd be a group of comedians.
Oh.
They would definitely be
the satirical... I don't know. I'm not good at names. I feel like they gotta use satirical in some way.
Yeah, no, they have to use satirical. That's a beautiful poll. I love it.
Anyway.
Or it could be fawning over Warren.
Oh my gosh.
Uh.
Or we all are in love with Vanessa.
Alright. So Kendra's like, thanks for trying, guys.
Lighten the mood.
I mean, it does. They say like the conversation does die off after a minute, but like the perils is still the same, but the camaraderie helps lighten the mood. So it's just a little extra thing. Kendra begins doubting her own personal worth to the mission. She's like, what if they can't find any asteroids? Like, everybody else is better with weapons.
She's like, I don't really have any weapons that can do anything. I don't really know how I'm gonna contribute here.
And she's just feeling a little,
Yeah.
a little left out. Just a little, like baggage. There's the word. She's feeling a little bit like baggage. Or like the battery.
Mm-hmm.
They finally get to the shrine, though, and Bracken actually requests Kendra as kind of like a direct like contrast to how she's feeling. He's like, would you come with me to the shrine? And Kendra's
He's like, I need your help.
She's like, you don't need me. You're fine. Like, you're a unicorn. You've got this. And he's like, I need all the help I can get right now.
Yeah. He's like, I'm about to ask a lot.
I need every shred of goodwill I can.
Goodwill, yeah.
You're coming. So that helps her feel a little bit more needed. Okay.
Hand in hand, Bracken and Kendra approached the wide ring of connected pillars. Passing beneath an engraved arch, Kendra found the ground paved with stone. Shallow steps led down to a circular pond and a small island in the center. I love how every shrine is kind of like the same. There's always like a pond with like a shrine in the center.
Yeah, it's just a good little indicator of just
Like, oh, this is a fairy queen shrine.
Stay away unless you want to be
That's true.
fluff.
Yeah, that's true too. And then Kendra's like, so what are we gonna ask her that you need my help with? And Bracken's like, well, I'm not gonna say it out loud, basically.
Finally, we've learned our lesson.
Nagi Luna is still watching us. He's like, can't quite block her out, but I can encourage her to look other places. But just to be safe, telepathy is what we're going with here.
And we're going to talk to the Fairy Queen specifically, because she has the power to shield the words.
Yes, yeah.
They get through the arch, they get to the shrine, and the first words that the Fairy Queen says is, so it has come to this.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like just a bunch of conflicting emotions. Profound sadness, deep exhaustion, simmering wrath, tender concern. We both saw it coming back and said simply, I did everything in my power to prevent this. He really did, honestly. Mm-hmm. He did more than any other unicorn by sacrificing what he did.
This line by the Fairy Queen is awesome. She says, try as we might to postpone them, days of reckoning inevitably arrive. that's you know what that's pretty much close to? That's what Thanos says when he walks out in Wakanda.
Wait, I can pull this. Dread it, run from it. Destiny arrives all the same.
It's inevitable.
And now it's here. Or should I say,
I am
here.
Yeah.
And then the I am inevitable. To feel desperately that you're right, and to fail all the same.
Dang.
Turns the legs to jelly. The heart to something.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. Nice pull, though.
Yeah, I was... when it said inevitable, I'm just like, that clicks in my brain, I'm like, that's Thanos. But we already decided that the Sphinx is Thanos, remember? So...
Yeah. Thinks he knows everything, and that the
collecting
mass
things
genocide that he will ensue is actually for the good of everybody. Man, really couldn't see that coming. Psychopaths.
Anyway.
Alright.
Bracken's like, so, I've been talking to Agid. The plan is going well so far. Have you gotten the plan? Basically, they're just like talking in, still vague terms.
And so Kendra is the one who popped the question, can you help us? And the Fairy Queen is just like, well, do I really have a choice at this point?
Yeah.
Like, she even brings up the realm where I rule, so the fairy realm itself is connected to the
human world.
The mortal realm.
Yeah.
Where if the mortal realm were to fall to, like, to demon kind, and she would have to cut herself off, then it would just be, she says, without the terrestrial influence of the shrines, love the vocab choice there.
Yeah.
My unspoiled realm of light would eventually fade.
So, like, without the, I guess, presence of the, I don't want to say lesser existence of the mortals, or, like, different plane of existence, the mortal existence compared to the immortal,
Yeah.
I guess.
I would also think of it as, like, the fairy shrines are kind of like anchors.
Yeah.
And so, like, the mortal realm anchors the fairy realm.
Yeah.
And so if she were forced to sever all of those ties, it would leave her completely unmoored, and eventually, like, an unmoored ship in the ocean can be swamped and destroyed.
Yeah.
Eventually. That would be my best.
I was just kind of going off the word terrestrial, you know.
No, yeah, I like that too.
Bracken's like, are you prepared to go all the way?
How far are you willing to go?
Yeah. And then the Fairy Queen is having a lot of emotions. Doubt, fear, hesitation, concern for everyone. Concern for Bracken, specifically. And Kendra's like, why does this keep happening? She clocks that.
And then, but the final thing she mentions is an old hatred, a yearning for vengeance that had quietly smoldered for years. Mm-hmm. She's like, as a last resort, it would be a desperate gambit, but yes.
Bracken's like, it's our only choice. It's why, here it is, it's why the shrine was placed here, their final obstacle. And then the Fairy Queen's like, what if I opened my realm to all of your friends, even the golem? You could all shelter here.
What is so, like, repulsive about Hugo?
I don't know! Everyone's like, not the golem.
Like, first the ghost ship, now the fairy. Like, why is, like, the golem, like
the thing is that,
I'm
like,
being so magnanimous by allowing the golem to stay.
the thing is,
what
like,
the heck?
Hugo was recreated by the fairies in
Right!
book 1.
He's such a pure soul. Why
So,
why are we
I don't
hating
know
on
why
Hugo?
everyone hates on Hugo.
Why are we hating on Hugo?
Is there
He's
something
just
about
great.
golems and how they're created originally? I don't know. But he was restored by fairy magic, so...
You should be wanting him around, okay?
Alright,
Miss
justice
Franklin?
for Hugo, I guess.
Justice for Hugo. We'll make pins with that one day. Alright,
So, after she offers that, Kendra's like, but wouldn't that make your realm vulnerable? And the Fairy Queen's like, well, it would be safer than an open battle. And Bracken is having none of it.
He's
He
like,
says,
nope.
This is unbecoming, Bracken said. Do not give utterance to these fears. My presence makes you weak. And then Kendra's starting to feel really uncomfortable because the Fairy Queen says, you cannot imagine how you strengthen me. And she feels like such emotions of love from the Fairy Queen for Bracken that it, like, makes her tear up because she's feeling all these emotions too. Mm-hmm. And she's like, what is going on? Who are you?
Like, what is happening?
Why does she care so much about you?
But yeah, Bracken gives a little bit more speech of just like, we have a chance to win, we have to sacrifice though, we have to take the chance, yada yada yada. The Fairy Queen says, yes, I will obey your plan. Or at least, interesting part here, Bracken says, it's not my plan, I'm proposing we implement it, but I did not design it. It was a stratagem authored by the wizards who arranged to locate a shrine there. Hint, hint, hint.
Yeah. So,
Kendra's completely in the dark.
Wait. You skipped a really good line.
Which one?
Where Bracken says, we can't win this battle, Bracken said. There's no point in deluding ourselves otherwise. But even without winning the battle, we might earn a chance to win the war. Hours of crisis often call for sacrifice. In matters of consequence, when have doubt and fear given the best advice? Why not heed faith, courage, duty, and honor? Kendra has, and her friends have, and without reason for hope.
Yeah, you're right. I would have skipped that, and I would have been a disservice. I would have done a disservice.
Every time Bracken opens his mouth in this chapter. It's gold.
Yeah, you're right on
This
that one.
is peak Bracken right here.
You're right.
This is the character I missed in Dragon Watch.
Mm-hmm.
I have already spoken about this, so I won't say anymore.
At
but
length.
This is the character that I miss.
Mm-hmm. And this is the one we love to have.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, Bracken then reiterates, like, this is not my plan. This was the wizard's plan, but we're going to be the ones to implement it, and we're going to pray that it works.
Yeah.
Only the Fairy Queen and Bracken know the particulars. Agid probably has an idea, because he was involved with the initial implementation.
It makes sense the person who helped create this to set up the plan knows the plan. And so Kendra's like, we have a chance? Because she thought, like, they had absolutely nothing going to their deaths. And Bracken is like, a small one, but yes. I wouldn't have let you all come here if there wasn't at least a chance.
Yeah. But he still won't say anything else. He's like, our entire the entire chance relies on the fact that the enemy does not anticipate what we're trying to do.
Yeah, the whole plan
so he
hinges
can't say
on
anything.
The whole plan hinges on not people not knowing the particulars. But Kendra has an important role to play because she needs to transform the Astrids.
90 of whom have been gathered by the Fairy Queen. Because, and this is interesting here, 3 of the 6 rebels returned, but 3 have also perished. So the 3 at Wormroost that tried to come to Kendra's aid are gone. They were killed by Navarog and they cannot come back. They cannot now come to their aid. So, but there they will be remembered in perpetuity.
Yeah.
But we did mention a few, I think this was mentioned like a book ago when she, or maybe at the beginning of the book?
About the Astrids?
Yeah.
Before, yeah. I feel like Raxtus kind of explains, doesn't he?
That there were 6 rebels?
There were 6, yeah. Like, the rebels are the ones that, like, after the demons came and killed the fairy king, and the Astrids weren't able to stop it, the queen punished them, and then there were 6 that resented her for punishing all of them when
only a few
a few were to blame for the death of the king. And so that's why they were banished, basically.
Yeah, so 6. And 6 had said, well, we're done. We're not going to listen to her at all anymore.
Yeah.
Whereas most of the others would, like, hang around shrines, at least hoping to one day be forgiven. They were just like, screw this, we're done.
And then 3 of the 6 are the ones that, like you said, died trying to help Kendra against Navarog.
And now also 3 of the rebels have returned. So there are still 3 rogue Astrids roaming the earth somewhere, which I find interesting.
Were there 9 rebels?
No, there were 6. There were 96 Astrids in total.
96.
3 are dead.
Why did I think that there were 100?
I don't know. 96 is also
96
a weird number.
96 is a weird number.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that one.
96? Also, I feel like there should be more. 96 does not feel like that many.
Yeah. I guess they're just really good.
I guess they're
just really good.
I mean, they are, but
yeah, so there were 96 total. Now, 6 initially rebelled, so there were 90 faithful. And of those 90 faithful, 3 died. So there were 87 at that point.
For some reason, I was thinking there were 3 of the rebels that were trying to basically repent and tried to help Kendra and died.
No.
And then the other 3 came back, but there are 3 that are still rogue.
There are 3 rogue Astrids somewhere.
Okay, I see.
Interesting enough. I feel like there's a story there.
So there are 90 Astrids that are there, 3 of which are part of the 6 that rebelled.
Were formerly rebellious, yes.
Yes. And there are 3 that are dead, and the other 3 that are rogue.
Off in the cosmos somewhere.
Somewhere. Okay, cool.
Maybe, honestly, I feel like this could be a story. They could be helping, what's his name?
Ronadin?
Him. I feel like there's a story there. I kind of wish that had come up during Dragon Watch.
Interesting. You're right!
Because why wouldn't
why the heck is that not addressed?
Why would the 3 rogue Astrids not go help the rogue unicorn? Personal headcanon that they're serving his interests somewhere in the world.
Oh, you're freaking right.
So...
Oh, that's good. Okay. Dang it, Brandon!
Alright,
So basically, 90 owls come out of the water, which is like
A
probably
flutter
like,
of golden wings everywhere.
whoa.
And aren't these like owls like as tall as one's
They're
waist?
probably, yeah. Didn't we decide they were like 3 feet tall or something?
Minimum, yeah. These are big. These are big animals,
Big.
and they're just surrounding them like
With human faces. They're just like looking at them.
That's even worse.
Yeah. They're owls with human faces. Giant owls with human faces.
Staring at me, staring into our souls. But yeah, so Kendra's like, well, why? Well, no wonder I couldn't find them. They were all here.
Yeah. So basically, the Fairy Queen had been like, okay, you need to change the Astrids. And then she was like, okay, this is too hard. You're going too many places. I'll gather the Astrids. And then...
You come to a shrine and I'll give them all to
yeah.
you.
And then Kendra's like, but wait. With them going through all the shrines, didn't that make your realm really vulnerable? And the Fairy Queen was like, yes, but we all need to make sacrifices. But to make up for it, I have destroyed every single other shrine in the world other than this one here on Shoreless Isle.
And if we think about that, like, if we think about what destroying shrines has been able to do in the past, like...
A lot of power.
That's a lot of power. Like, the first shrine that was destroyed, it was able to create the talisman that was able to completely eradicate the Shadow Plague.
Mm-hmm.
It's, 3 being destroyed, where it was able to give Kendra the ability to transform Astrids. Like, this is not a small thing. Destroying all of those shrines, of which there were probably dozens...
There are probably so many all around the world, yeah.
Probably dozens. Like, I feel like there's around dozens of preserves. That feels like a good number. Like, maybe not quite 100. Maybe 96.
Maybe 96.
Maybe
yeah.
96. It's a factor of 12.
It's true.
Or it's a multiple of 12.
Okay, so basically, it's now Kendra's turn to...
Be helpful.
Change all... Yeah, use her battery for good.
Pretty much.
Not be forced into it or tricked into it. So she just has to, like, kiss them on the forehead, and it changes them. So Bracken calls out the Captain...
Gilgarol.
Captain Gilgarol. Gilgarol, how to frickin' say it? Gilgarol, if you want, I don't know, fancy.
It's also interesting to think about, like, how Bracken probably knows each of these Astrids personally.
Uh-huh. Which we're about to get to.
We're about to understand why.
He's the captain of the Astrids, so she changes him, and with a flash of sparks and golden light, a tall warrior is now crouched in front of her. So, the Astrids were not always just owls. They were tall warrior men with wings, basically.
And owl helmets.
And owl helmets. Gilded armor protected his muscular frame, and an owlish helmet guarded his head. His facial features appeared much more masculine than before. He clutched a spear in one hand, a sword in the other. Broad gleaming wings fanned out from his back.
And the first thing he does, he kneels before Bracken. Forgive our failure, my liege. Interesting word choice there. Liege. Like, not just sir, captain, like, whatever, like, Bracken's...
Liege. Like,
It
that
says
is
liege. Like, he is...
respectful term.
Not even that. It implies that he is sworn to Bracken.
Liege lord, yeah.
His liege lord.
Rise, Gilgarol, Bracken said. All is forgiven. We have work to do.
Very strong words there.
And this is where Kendra has had enough.
She is done.
She is like, okay, hold on. I am not doing anything else until we talk about this.
Who the heck are you?
She's like, the Fairy Queen treats you as your favorite. You have all these magic powers. The
Astrids are kneeling to you.
The Astrids kneel to you and treat you with respect. Are you the last unicorn?
Because, I mean, Bracken tried to get around this when we were in Living Mirage.
Every time she asks.
He specifically says, unicorns, not just me as a unicorn, but unicorns in general are like the rock stars of the fairy world, which is why all of the fairies were getting Twitter pages.
Yeah.
But now she's like, we done. That would not fly for just if the Astrids are now kneeling to you and calling them their liege.
Yeah.
What is this?
And he's like, okay. I'm not the last unicorn.
And Gilgarol's like, are you not aware of who this guy is? Like, how do you not know this? She's like, I am sorry. I didn't get the PowerPoint presentation that Raxus was talking about.
I missed the meeting, apparently.
I missed the initiation.
Someone didn't put me in the group text. I don't know what's going on. Bracken has always sidestepped this conversation, so he's like, fine, we will have it. Yeah, Gilgar all harumphed. Are you not aware? A hard glance from Bracken silenced
He's just
him.
like, if we doing this, I'm doing it.
And so Bracken's like, okay. The Fairy Queen has 5 children, 4 daughters, 1 son. I'm the son.
And Kendra's world stops.
She's like, hold on there, buddy.
Wait, can I invoke an image?
Yes, yeah.
Everybody go back to watching How to Train Your Dragon 2 for the first time. They're flying around the ice during like one of those, not the final battle, but like the second to last at the Alpha's nest. And Astrid is flying around. Astrid. Yeah. And Hiccup finally pulls up and he's like, hey, how's it going, honey? And she's like, where have you been this entire time? And Hiccup just goes, oh, you know, catching up with Mom, pans up to the top of the island exploding with ice with the Alpha coming up, and then Valka like standing in the front like looking like an absolute queen of a woman. And she's like, that's your mother?
Kendra's literally like, ooh, that's your mother?
Like
the Fairy Queen?
And she's like, oh my
Surprise.
gosh, okay.
And Bracken's like, I can just imagine him like rubbing his face, being like, well, I don't always have to, I was trying to avoid this conversation.
It was so
I didn't
nice
want to have this conversation.
We were normal. We were so normal for a bit. I didn't have to be thinking
You
about
didn't know who I was.
And I also, like, let's just think about what his life has been like for a bit. I've explored this a little bit in the story that I'm writing, which is about Bracken, so you've seen a bit of it.
Yes.
Where it's just like, with Bracken being the son of the Fairy Queen, one of 5 children, which, ironically enough, is actually very similar to my family. I also have, there are also 4 daughters and 1 son in my family. And a part of me wants to think that Bracken's family is the same way, where it's girl, 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 boy.
Yeah, the boy's the youngest.
The boy's the youngest, because...
I can see that.
It just...
He's the baby.
He's the baby, and he's also the only boy. And that just probably... that's what I pictured as. We don't know that for sure.
I like that.
But it's just interesting to think of where, like, Bracken, having lost his father thousands of years ago, and it just puts a different light, his sacrifice to keep the demons away. It wasn't just unicorns and demons hate each other. It's not just that. It is personal for Bracken. Mm-hmm. It's his father was killed, and so he feels like he has a personal vendetta in this.
It is vital to his character.
Mm-hmm. And so...
It
I don't know,
so much
Kenta
depth.
ever even really realize that it's not even just... Like, it adds so much depth to his sacrifice and how he feels about demon kind.
And it makes his character make so much more sense. Because up to this point, we knew he was a unicorn, and that his horn was used in the Font of Immortality. He's kind of known, but like...
That unicorn...
We don't know anything else.
As a unicorn, he is popular with fairies.
Yeah.
But we haven't known anything else.
Literally nothing else.
And also, personality-wise, he's just kind of seemed...
kind of normal.
Normal, if not, like, a little bit vanilla. A little vanilla.
Matches his hair, I guess.
Yeah, for real, though. Like, just like he's a good person, he does good things, he is good with the sword. A little bit vanilla. This adds a nice little swirl of chocolate in there. Like, he's not just helping to keep the demon prison closed out of the goodness of his heart.
It gives us his motivation.
It's vengeance.
It really is. It's vengeance and, like, stopping the demons from doing more harm to the world. It's personal.
Exactly.
And I just love it so much.
It does so much. And it also is just like a huge jaw-dropping moment for us as well as Ken to just be like, oh,
I've been flirting with the Fairy Queen's son.
She straight up says that. She had been cuddling and flirting with the son of the Fairy Queen.
She's like, well, crap.
She even says, there's no time to sort through the implications. Okay, let me kiss 89 other men.
She's like, we don't have time for this. I don't have the brain capacity to process this right now.
Let me start kissing these asteroids and get them back. We just gotta move.
We also get interesting lore because we learn that, Bracken's the son of the Fairy Queen. He's a unicorn. The Fairy Queen is also a unicorn, which he says that, like, not many other people know outside their inner circle. And so, like, that's really interesting. They're like, the unicorn's, like, helped create Fairydom, is what he says.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting.
But the fairies honor her as the first of their kind, and probably they honor her as the first, probably light embodiment of light, maybe? Or maybe just, she established their realm. Let's go with that.
I think she established their realm.
Maybe, she was integral behind creating the
That's
fairy
what I would
realm
say.
as a location, as, the extra-dimensional land that it is.
Establish Fairydom.
Alright, where were we?
Oh,
yes, kissing other men.
Yeah. Okay, kissing on the forehead. Let's be specific
And
here.
she did mention it's a quick pack.
Yeah.
I just still find it funny. It's she goes from having these extra,
takes a lot of time.
all of these different complications with her relationship with Bracken and how she feels with that crush and the flirting. She's like, all right, just let me give 98 kisses first, or 89, whatever. And so finally she's transformed 87 of the asteroids, but 3 of the darker asteroids remained. They lacked the shining golden feathers of the others. Bracken chastised, he reprimands the 3 forgiven, rebellious. He's like, you turned on the Fairy Queen after she chastised you for your failure, but you came when she called. You will hereafter be considered the lowest rank of all those present. May you reclaim your honor through outstanding valor. And I will let it be said that for all the fact that after probably thousands of years of disloyalty, that's all the reprimanding that is given. Immediately afterwards, they are transformed, and
well, I bet Bracken can sense their real remorse that they feel. So, because they can talk telepathically. So, and they all say, and the 3 kneel before Bracken, and then in unison, because hive mind, I guess. We apologize for our disloyalty. Our rebelliousness will forever shame us. Thank you for this opportunity to prove our penitence. We will not fail you.
You gave that word some reverence. Penitence.
I was trying to say it right. I was making sure I said it correctly.
No, you're fair. That's fair. Oof. You picked the right day to prove yourselves, Bracken said. Behold, dawn approaches. Oh, Megan's been waiting for this. This is Megan. Oh, I've been waiting for this.
I've been waiting 2.5 years to get to this freaking chapter. This freaking part in the chapter.
For context, when we went to the book launch for the Newell and Doran book release, the Newell and Doran adventure, there was a huge poster, and I feel like we've mentioned this before.
Yeah, we did.
But there was a huge poster of it said, write down your favorite Fablehaven moment. I wrote down something else that we will also be discussing later, but Megan wrote down Bracken's speech before
on Charlotte's Isle.
On the Charlotte's Isle. And we are basically there.
It's the
Megan
best!
is vibrating in her chair right now.
It's literally the best thing ever. And this is why I love Bracken so much.
And we're almost there, but we're going to do this. So they get back to the group.
Well, let's read it. Yeah. Looking to the east, Kendra saw a color in the sky. Overhead, the clouds were thinning, accompanied by several asteroids. Kendra and Bracken returned to where their companions waited. Looks like you recruited some help, Trask said, sounding harder than he had in days.
Well, I imagine they're feeling a little bit more, cheery when 100
like,
well-armed, muscular men
imagine
with
it's
wings.
It's dark. There's a little bit of light with the dawn coming. So they're just seeing bursts of light in the distance, and they're like, whoa!
And Kendra's probably thinking everything that Seth wasn't there to witness, that she had to kiss them all to make it happen.
Yeah, and then Seth is like, these are asteroids? Giddy with excitement. And Bracken's like, this is only the beginning. Agate is on his way with a group of dragons. Additional reinforcements may issue from the shrine. We may not have the strength to defeat our opponents, but we will give these demons a welcome to remember. What's the plan? Warren said.
So they kind of outline their strategy. So they're going to try and form a few defensive lines around the shrine, because they're trying to use the shrine as a kind of a fallback position, because currently the Fairy Queen can use it as a portal to a portal to shuttle reinforcements to their line.
From the fairy realm into Shore's Isle.
Yeah, from the fairy realm. So, like, we're talking extra unicorns, dryads,
big
hamadryads,
big fairies like
warrior
from book
fairies.
1. Yeah, warrior fairies.
So they're not alone. It's not just the 100, the 90 asteroids and 10 people to help them out.
Yeah.
But they still have to have this strategy. They want to protect the shrine because as using it as a portal, it becomes vulnerable to attack. And also, they want to stay as mobile as they can. Like, Seth offers to build his tower that he got from Thronus, the sky giant back last book. Mm-hmm. That wasn't just last book. Huh.
Yeah, it was just last book.
It feels so long ago.
It does feel
but
so long
just
ago.
Like, we gotta stay mobile. Like, some of these demons would look at that as a challenge. We gotta keep moving.
They basically want to spread the fight as wide as possible, so there's not just a concentrated battle right in front of the shrine, because that's hard to defend.
Yes. Kendra and Seth each get 2 asteroid bodyguards. Everybody else gets 1. Vanessa chimes in, like, what are our concrete objectives? Like, what's gonna happen? What can we do to actually try and win this? But Bracken, like he said earlier, he has to keep all of his cards close to his chest. He can't really be specific. He's like, I have specific ideas in mind, but I can't say it out loud. Nagi Luna's watching. We can't speak it in the open.
And Vanessa's like, you require a lot of trust. And then Warren is the next person to talk. He says, he's the one who brought the army.
Like,
and I feel like coming from Warren, Vanessa's like, okay, you're right. Mm-hmm. You're cute. You're right.
Yeah.
I guess you're right, Warren.
But yeah, so Bracken does reassure, though, like, I have a plan. It has a chance. It may be, like, a snowball's chance in hell, but it's a chance.
It is our only chance as well. So, and also he makes the point that, like, some of the demons will give off, like, fear, magical fear, but Bracken and the Astrids can, like, negate it, basically.
Mm-hmm. Like, this is going to be an unstoppable horde of, like, the worst nightmares of all of humanity.
Yeah.
Like, if they did not have Astrids, Bracken, and other, like,
they would have
on their
no
side,
chance.
there would be
no chance.
They would be picked off, like, with ease.
Yeah. And then Newell is like, don't start saying we might win. You're making me nervous. Yeah. And Bracken's like, don't worry. We're not going to defeat them. But we could survive.
So. Norin's like,
I think he's lost it. Twirling his finger beside his ear.
At least they're happy with their fact that they're most likely going to die. Like, they've come to terms with it.
They're like, I've already come to terms with this, yeah.
So, they're trying to get into their battle formations, and Kendra ends up behind Newell and Doran. And Newell is looking particularly nervous because, as we find out, he used to sling rocks for fun, for sport, at the Astrids. Yeah. And now that they're a bit more intimidating,
they can fight back.
He's a little concerned.
He's like, they don't remember, right?
And I'm just thinking, like, what if, like, his bodyguard hopefully isn't very petty.
Hopefully his bodyguard isn't one of the ones from Fablehaven.
Honestly, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so...
Yet again, we have the warrior fairies gathering around Hugo, enchanting, enlarging him, making him big, like how they reinstated him in book 1, and like how the fairies were used in book 3 to make him big again at the Shadow Plague.
Yes.
I just like how that...
there was one other time.
I just like how it's always like, all right, have the fairies make Hugo big again.
I mean, might as
big
well.
Big and beefy.
But yeah, so at the end, Hugo is now twice as tall, so he's probably like...
He's like 20 feet?
Probably.
16 feet?
16
he's probably like 8 to 10 feet normally, right?
Yeah, I would say
so. He's like 16 to 20 feet tall.
And they brought him a sword that is longer
That's
than
huge.
Trask was tall. Who we've
Trask
established
is
is
at least,
over 6 feet.
Yeah, over 6 foot.
Probably 6'4".
Like 6'2 to 6'6".
That's a big sword.
So he's got like a 7-8 foot sword. Dang. I just love this. We have the Astrids, we have the fairies, we have giant Hugo. They're just showing all of these like allies that we have. I love Seth ran up to Kendra. Did you see they beefed up Hugo?
Maybe
we have a chance.
We might actually live through this.
Seth's like, I'm freaking out. I'll be better once the battle starts. My sword really helps my nerves.
Slightly concerning.
And Kendra's like, listen to Bracken. He's our general. What he says, we do. So Bracken comes up with them and is like,
when the demons first emerge, it may look overwhelming. Remember, we don't have to fight them all head on. We'll have specific objectives. Seth's like, are we gonna get those dragons anytime soon?
I think there were dragons coming.
Like, the Agates reinforcements? Like, when are those gonna be arriving?
Bracken's still not saying anything, because, I know, smart. Nagi Luna's listening! He said that the Astrids being changed really caught her eye.
So the sky is getting really close to dawn. It is illuminating now the field in between them. So there's a wide field separating them from a tremendous dome of rock. Its entire surface etched with cryptic ruins. Here and there on... Runes, sorry. Etched with cryptic runes. Here and there on the field lay the eroding ruins of ancient structures. Again, what were they?
Structures are, I don't know.
What civilization was uprooted or destroyed and made way for the demon
when, yeah. Surveying their newly assembled army, Kendra counted at least 100 oversized fairies. The heavily armed Astrids looked grim and competent, some on the ground, some hovering in the air. We have giant Hugo. Whatever the outcome, this was much better than facing Gorgrog and his horde with a team of 9.
Hey, we're still laying around like 200, maybe
yeah,
250.
200, 250. Yeah, the unicorns and...
Dryads.
What else. The Dryads, yeah.
Dryads are the other one. Or Hammer Dryads, I think, as well.
Yeah, so maybe, like 250. Bracken trotted ahead of everyone and turned to speak, waving both arms to summon attention. Our foes will emerge at any moment. Look to me for orders. Take heart. We have the support of the Fairy Queen and other powerful allies. And after centuries of exile, the Astrids have returned to their true form.
This earned a cheer. For ages, Bracken went on, you Astrids served as the honor guard for my family. This regiment had a name. Would any of our human companions care to guess what they were called?
Nobody answered. The Knights of the Dawn, Bracken said. The same name taken by the brotherhood that stands in opposition to the Society of the Evening Star. I believe this name is no accident. I believe this name makes reference to this moment. No star can abide the light of the dawn, nor has evil ever loved light. After their long incarceration in darkness, let our enemies come against us with the sunrise at our backs.
Oh, I'm just picturing this moment in actual, in
so happy right now.
With, the soundtrack, the score building.
Bro.
The sun probably just rising behind them, warming their backs as they're just ready.
This is what our podcast is named after. This moment.
This is the moment. I think my favorite line there is, no star can abide the light of the dawn.
Oh, it's so good.
It also gives, a single candle can hold back the darkness. Just light itself.
Light can be found even in the darkest of time. If one only remembers to turn on the light. Or hope can be found? Light can be found? Hope. Whatever Dumbledore says in Prisoner of Azkaban.
Happiness.
Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if only one remembers to turn on the light.
It makes me think, one of the most prevalent fears in all of humanity, I think, is the fear of the dark, fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
It's the most, I would say it's the most consistent, most prevalent in most cultures and in most humans. It's just because, if we can't see something, if we can't understand it, we're inherently going to fear it and be nervous about it because we can't predict it, we can't see.
Yeah.
Walking with your eyes closed, going into a dark basement. Those things are inherently terrifying because of those things. Because you're scared of something happening that you can't foresee or predict. And so often, the solution for so many of these, situations, if you're going to a dark basement and you're scared, switch on the light switch. If you're going outside into the dark night, bring a flashlight. So many of these problems, these issues, are just solved by bringing light to this situation, bringing light to the, Like, and even you can think of it as the light of understanding. If you're nervous about another culture and other people's, like, seek to understand, and it takes away the fear of the unknown. It's always the dawn, it's the light, it's the growing comprehension that takes away that fear.
Something interesting I just thought of, in accordance with, like, this series specifically, is, like, how the Sphinx ran the Knights of the Dawn with masks, behind masks, unknown. And now how the Sorensens run it is everyone knows. Everyone, like,
it's
in
full
the lights.
Transparency.
It's under the light of day. And the Sphinx ran it under the darkness of night.
Man, they really should have seen through that sooner. But yeah. But no, you're 100% on it. I love that.
Yeah. I love just the symbolism of, like, the Society of the Evening Star. Like, stars, they shed some light, but it's mostly, you know, in the dark. And the Knights of the Dawn. The dawn always conquers the night.
Mm-hmm. And at the same time, like, it's not to say that one can exist without the other. We wouldn't have dawn without darkness, without the night. And we wouldn't have the evening without the day.
Mm-hmm.
They both have to exist in that constant opposition. Like, and it takes me back to, like, book 2, when it talks about, like, the evening star, it ushers in the night. Well, the dawn ushers in the day.
Mm-hmm. It just...
They're both the periods of transition.
What he's saying, like, just reminds me, it's one of my favorite quotes. It's, turn your face towards the sun and the shadows can't help but fall behind you.
Are you thinking of the song?
Well, it's also a song, but it was first a quote.
Oh, okay.
It's like, as you face toward the sun, the shadows cannot help but fall behind you, or something like that. Yes, I know there's a Rihanna song.
Actually, I really like that song.
It's a good song. I like it too. But no, it was first, like, a quote from, like, someone. But
and also another one from our favorite uncle. We were at a panel last month for Avatar: The Last Airbender, and it had Greg Baldwin, the second voice for Iroh, and Michaela, last name I'm blanking on, the voice of Toph. And they were asked about some of their favorite lines, and Greg Baldwin's was actually from Legend of Korra, when it was, if you look for the light, you will often find it, but if you look for the dark, that is all you will ever see. If you look for the bright side of things, you'll be able to find a good spin, but if you just try to be if you're always pessimistic and always looking on the bad side of it, that's all you're gonna ever notice. It's just all these, like, analogies, metaphors that have to do with light, because it's just such an apt way of describing the world around us.
Oh, it's such a prevalent theme throughout the books, too. Mm-hmm. And this last line that I read a few minutes ago, after their long incarceration in darkness, let our enemies come against us with the sunrise at our backs. It's like the light is behind us. It's supporting us. It's bolstering us. It's giving us the power and the courage and the boldness that we need to face this enemy, to face this evil. Mm-hmm. And I love it.
So, Bracken brings up that the Astrids were the honor guard for his family. Mm-hmm. And I think just going back to the thing we were talking about before, where Bracken is familiar with Gilgerol, the leader, and all of the individual Astrids, as well as the fact that they call him their liege, because he's the son of the Fairy Queen. Like,
yeah,
I can imagine, like, for most of his life, until they were banished, like, he probably almost always had an Astrid with him as, like, a bodyguard.
It's true. Probably.
Like, and if not one, maybe 2 or 3. Like, probably he was friends with them. That just seems to be the way he leads as well. With, like, familiarity, knowing names, things like that. It's just, like, I can see that as being, like, just an extra little thing where, like, he was not just their liege, he was also their
friend.
Yeah, their charge.
Yeah.
From the time that he was probably, like, a foal.
I don't know how that works, but
I don't know either. Yeah, I don't know how it works with immortality,
like
but yeah, just like little things like that.
It's probably, he was probably so devastated, not just with the death of his father, but, you know, the, like, banishment of the Astrids, and, like, losing that was probably really hard for their whole family. And so seeing them come back is probably so amazing.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
But yeah, I love just like the themes of like light and dark, and it's like in past books, light and dark have been associated with like the natures of magical creatures, but now we're like light and dark, good and evil, you know, like the symbolism behind it is so strong, and I just love it.
Kendra had chills. She's like, oh man, my man's
She's
good.
like, ooh. You know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of that part. It makes me think of that part in Endgame after Cap gives his like his speech, and then
Rocket.
he's like, he's pretty good at that,
right?
That's how I felt listening to it again. I was like,
I listened to the
he's pretty good at that.
Alright, so Kendra had chills. She had no idea Bracken possessed such a dramatic flair for leadership. His words had kindled real hope. All around her, fairies and astrids clapped and whistled. Many applauded by clashing weapons against their shields, producing a soldierly ruckus.
The sun peeked over the horizon, flooding the world with golden rays, and then the dome began to quake. A thunderous rumbling arose as if from the bones of the planet, drowning out all other sound. Tremors radiated through the ground, making trees sway. Kendra stumbled against an astrid who prevented her from falling. The quaking intensified, and a vertical crack appeared in the lower portion of the dome, growing wider by the second. As the sun cleared the horizon, the demon prison opened.
Bum, bum, bum.
That's the end of today's episode!
If you guys are wondering how long it's taking us to just record the raw footage, it has been around 5 hours.
This is a long episode.
This is going to be a very long episode. I do not know how long it's going to end up after editing, but the raw footage alone is around 5 hours. And it has been and 3 different recording
audio.
sessions.
Yeah, it's taken a while.
It's been really fun, though.
We have to do these last chapters justice, so... But yeah, that's where the chapter ends, and... Sorry to leave you on...
A cliffhanger.
A very big cliffhanger. But this episode is so long.
We need to
cut
cut
to
it.
stop it from being like 7 hours.
Oh, minimum it would be 8. The next 3 chapters...
We have to cut it.
We have to cut it.
We have to cut it into 2.
Which kills us.
But we had to end with the epic speech because... Alright, anyone who also thinks that's their favorite, like, part of the books, comment down below. Because it's seriously my favorite part of Fablehaven.
We'll mention mine in the next episode, and if you agree with me, you'll be able to cast your vote. Okay, but yeah, so I think everything to be said about these 4 chapters has been said.
Yeah.
But it is a very good section. It hypes us up for the battle, it gets us ready for the climax, and it's just a great way of saying it's been 5 books, countless battles, sacrifices, losses. Here we are. We're at the end. Now it's
all
time.
of our allies are with us.
All of our allies.
I like the assembling of like all the different like fairy folk, like the Astrids, which are now like changed into like their true form. The big fairies from the first book, you know, call back to book 1, and like unicorns, and it's so cool.
This really is just like the Avengers
Assemble. Yeah.
This is that moment where everybody, like Asgardians, Wakandans, Avengers, everybody has come together for this moment.
It's just like the culmination of all of the books and adventures coming into one, and it's great.
Can't wait to go over it.
In the next episode. Please don't hate us.
Please do not. Thank you guys for tuning into this absolute monster of an episode. We are so grateful for all of your guys' support. Please feel free to reach out to any of your friends or family who may have interest in Brandon Mull and his books. We really are trying to focus on growing this community as much as we can, especially as we're just getting more and more information about new projects that Brandon's working on, about the movie. But yeah, so please feel free to reach out to us on any of the platforms that you're listening us to, as well as with our email, knightsofthedawnpodcast@gmail.com. We would love to hear from any of you guys, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. But until then, I'm Jessica.
And I'm Megan.
Drink the milk.
See ya.